Halgamo gets the steal. Don't put this one toward the left side post. And the 2023-2024 Bill Memorial Cup belongs to the Waterford Sharks. What's going on, everybody? John Utter with you alongside the Go Live Sportscast. We're at Lakeshore Sports Center for the final time in this 2024-2025 season. It is going to be time for the final, Game 5 in the Michigan Independence Hockey League, as the number 1 seed Muskegon Voyagers try to go ahead and hold off home ice against the Waterford Sharks. Waterford Sharks, as you know, have other plans. Again, 24-0 was Muskegon during the regular season, 4-2 in the postseason. The Waterford Sharks, 19-4-1, 5-0 last year, but 18-4-2, 4-2. Both teams about a game off the pace in the regular season. As far as everything that I'm going to have announced to you, I'm going to sprinkle in the shout-outs throughout the broadcast. But let's just go ahead through the rosters here really quick. So for the forward side, head coach Matt Berger told me, don't believe there's going to be any changes. It's going to be Cole Halgamo, Max Campbell, Zach Mulkowski, Josh Hill, Kieran Carlisle, Hunter Keppel, Andrew Polsha, Alex Gregorich, Spencer Bowman. Again, Justin McComas, Brian Danielson not playing. The Redmond brothers did not make the trip. Jared Pfeiffer and Ruben DeLong. So again, 2 for Halgamo, 8 for Campbell, 10 Mulkowski, 15 Hill, 16 Carlisle, 23 Keppel, 61 Polosha, 63 Gregorich, and 71 Spencer Bowman. On the D side, number 5 Nick Rapandria, number 6 Theo Goody, number 20 Jake Prober, number 25 Joseph Gibbs, 26 Jared Siegel, 29 Tuller Groth, number 77 Luke Formica. Elijah Gibbons, number 49, should be getting the start in that today. Although Matt Berger did tell me this, at least for the injury side, again, who isn't beat up this time of year, but you're looking at Josh Hill, Luke Formica, with some of the injuries, Hunter Keppel as well, who scored several key goals for the Sharks, so we'll have to see how that plays out. And for Zach Dance's squad and the Muskegon Voyagers, I think I'm going to have a couple extra forwards listed, so they might sub out the defenseman like number 5, Joe DeFay, in exchange for number 9, Joe DeWitt. But Zach Cuthbertson, Luke McCarthy, Kevin Belvich, Jeremy Joyce, Ryan Gamber, Andrew Taylor, Zach Grover, Josh Schaefer, Chris Hawkins, and number 44, we know who's going to be in the lineup, and Isaiah Humpner, who has scored a lot of critical goals, including a game winner in the Game 4 side for Muskegon at Lakeland Ice Arena. Christian Montgomery, number 6, number 7, Jordan Truxton, number 9, Joe DeWitt, number 55, Luke Precision, and number 72, Riley Pitcher are always on the back end pieces for Muskegon that are stout. And number 32, Devon Lay in the goal crease. Matt Scheidemann will be his backup. I did get the message across from Jack Hudak that he's not going to be playing in this Game 5. So Devon Lay, who started every other game except for 2, will go ahead and pencil in the lineup against Elijah Gibbons. I do want to mention this across before I go ahead into some of my other note totals. We'll just do this as far as the Go Live side. Welcome to everyone watching on TCL Channel 3080, Roku, YouTube, and the Go Live Sportscast website. There are a lot of you from the shout-outs that I will get throughout that are watching across the globe and taking this one in, and I appreciate it. Again, no added pressure for me because I'm used to these type of things, but this Game 5 closeout, we'll see how the Sharks end up faring away at that. Usually in Muskegon, we have a little bit more of a pregame and extended side for Terry on the other end for Muskegon, so there's going to be some more talking too from me, so I'll try to space those out. For Polosha, again, I'll give you the regular season totals. Again, number 61 is someone to watch. 35 goals, 28 assists, 63 points. And on my playoff sheet, I did forget to update it. He's got, I think, 15 goals. He's got 17 points, 15, and 2 assists for 17. Kieran Carlisle had about 6 more points to his total in the postseason for about 18. And Hunter Keppel, a couple more goals for him, but 11 points on the postseason. But Kieran Carlisle, 40 assists in the regular season, 62 points, 22 goals. Spencer Bowman, the captaincy, 12, 41, 53. Cole Halgamo, when he played 20 games, not an even split, 22 goals, 21 assists, 43 points. And who to watch for on the other side for Muskegon, as always, you want to look at, I know he's not the top point getter, but he's someone that always drives offense in Riley Picture. 20 goals, 28 assists, 48 points. He's an offensive defenseman by trade. Again, he's very stout defensively. You can kind of think of him as the Kel McCarr type. He's a little Thomas engine on that side, but he never quits. And he can always not be afraid to throw the gloves if he has to as well. An assistant captaincy, Luke McCarthy, who has done it all. Again, it was just 18 games for him in the regular season, but 24 goals, 37 assists, 61 points. Again, it's a 24-game season. We got 4 teams. We will have 6 by the start of next year. Again, we announced a little bit last week after the end of Game 4. It'll be the Sheboygan Wendigo and the Flint Shadow will be joining the MIHL, so that's going to be a lot of fun. And I am told that Commissioner Scott Brand will be in the building today to represent that trophy for the Bill Long Memorial Cup. That's what these 2 teams are playing for. The Waterford Sharks are trying to hold on what's rightly theirs as back-to-back repeat champs. And the Muskegon Voyagers, again, I'm looking at this across my sight line. Again, we'll have the Sharks side from what's been the first and the third, but they're 3-time repeat champs. The Sharks knocked them off last year in a sweep when they went 5-0 in the postseason. Again, it was the Gaylord Snow, now the Alpena 45ers, and the Muskegon Voyagers, in which the Sharks went 5-0. But it has been Waterford and Muskegon, for those that are new and just joining us in this 4-team league so far, for this year at least, because again we had 6 before that. But these 2 teams have met each other 5 seasons in a row now in the postseason, and both teams have been giving as good as they get. For those that have not followed along in this series in particular, we can also mention this. Every single one of these games, 1, 2, 3, and 4, have all been decided by 1 goal. The Waterford Sharks took games 1 and 3, 5-4 and 3-2. Muskegon Voyagers held serve at home at least and won 6-5 and then 3-2 in games 2 and 4. One of the Sharks' moms joked with me alongside Mama Shark and said that the Waterford team has won all of their games in the postseason on Saturday in this series, and guess what today is? So that is something that they want to use as the lucky moniker. And for the Voyagers, I think you get another opportunity. I mentioned this between games 1 and 2, but you get an opportunity to go ahead, win that back half game. You think about it for a week, you get all your troops fresh. Both teams did. Be able to get some of those injuries and everything else squared away, but who isn't playing hurt? And then just give it your best effort. So Matt Berger is going to be walking across from the broadcast booth on this side as I give him a shout out and a fist bump. Sharks got some work to do, and I think they're going to have some fun today. That's my prediction. My one thing I will say to leave note, talk about secondary goal scoring, and there really hasn't been that in between these 2. But I do wonder in the back of my mind, will we finally get into Game 5, as we said the first 4 were all decided by a goal? Are we going to get an anomaly? And what I mean by that is maybe 3 or more as far as the deficit, something of a finality as far as goal scoring. Because here's the one thing you got to look out for as we get settled with the players starting to come on the ice. We're going to get those camera shots here for you in a moment. I'm seeing the Sharks coming out of their tunnel, and Muskegon the same way across from me. But Waterford at Lakeshore Sports Center, where we are now in Muskegon, in the first period collectively in games 1 and 2, they were outscored 4-0, 2-0 in each period. Now, in Waterford, where we were last week, the Sharks were able to take that first period in totality in 3 and 4 and be up 2-1. But they cannot start behind multiple goals again in this Game 5, because believe me when I tell you, both of these teams are incredibly offensively dynamic, and they can bury you if things go wrong very quickly. So the Sharks need to get off on the right foot and be ready to play from the start of the opening 20 all the way through 60 or however long it takes, because we have not also had a game that has gone into overtime yet. That might be another one of those anomalies. Will we break that? Will we get a multiple goal win? Will we finally get an OT game? I mean, this has been as good as it gets between these 2, and this should be a lot of fun. Lakeshore Sports Center is pretty packed. I see a good section of Sharks fans. A lot of moms are making the trip as well, which is always nice to see. Mama Shark said she brought the cowbells to be able to represent all the way across for the Sharks. Again, I will get to the shout-outs and everything else as we get along through game time and I will sparse those out. I did get about 15 different players, and then I will shout out myself and the crew at the end of the cast as well, however that is. And I'm really looking forward to this. Again, as a Sharks Company man, I can tell you which way you would like to see this lean. I know Terry would say the same thing as he's perched up above for sunny Muskegon, but what we all know is that this game has been competitive. It's been close. There's been some fights here and there. You will see some physicality if you're new to the MIHL. A lot of checking you already know, but you might see some fists. Zebras are making their way to the ice, and now the doors are open as we will get set to welcome the Sharks. Elijah Gibbons now working his way out of the tunnel as he is the first to lead. See Tyler Groth, number 29, getting the spin around. And Rogalong should be the backup for the Sharks today, number 36. I would say it seems Mutina as cold as it is already. Even the Zebras have a little bit of the sniffles. I'll probably feel the same way as it's all said and done. But let's get it done in a win. That's what I ended up saying. It is absurdly cold. But again, I can't bring a coat on that set because it is blue. Don't want to get myself in trouble, but they do see the Sharks gear. I will have some interesting stories to share after all of this stuff is done, so look forward to that at hopelesssportsguide.wordpress.com per usual, at John Reinott, when I close everything out for you in a few days as far as all the other coverage, as far as the written and everything else. So to give you the lineups, we're going to pause for the anthems, and then we'll get set to get into this. Look forward to it. Sit back and enjoy, everybody. Should be a good one. So we are going to get settled here officially. We've got all the preamble out of the way, and it is do or die for both of these teams, the Muskegon Voyagers and the Waterford Sharks. Game 5 in a best of 5 to decide who wins the Bill Long Memorial Cup. Just got the head nod from number 5, Papa G, Nick Papandrea on the back end side, as he's affectionately called. This is going to be a lot of fun. Get some stick taps there from Grego, fired up from the boys, fired up even from the Zebras. We know we're going to get a lot today. My $1 million question is to all of you. Do you think the one-goal swing of games is going to be broken today? Do you think Muskegon comes out big? Do you think the Sharks come out big? Because I want to see what happens in this first 20. I want to look to see if one of these teams can take complete control and not necessarily cruise through the next set of 40, but set the tone. I think that's the most important part of it. Again, these offenses can absolutely put you to shame if you're not ready to go here from the start of it. I mean, you know the juices are already going to be flowing in a championship game that goes the distance. Because let me say it to you like this. For the Florida Panthers and the Edmonton Oilers last year, the Panthers raced out to a 3-0 lead, and then all of a sudden the Cats had to deal with some laughers here, tense things all the way up to Game 7, and then Sam Reinhart ends up scoring a critical one. So we're underway here now. Grego able to win that puck back, get settled back and enjoy for do-or-die hockey as Elijah Gibbons work his way in behind the net against Isaiah Humpner. Muskegon now trying to hold this in on the left side blue line. Couple of stick chops, take the lumber out of the air, and this is a first save and off of Christian Montgomery, and Alex Gregorich able to send this one down the ice to Devon Lay, slowly push it the other way from Muskegon. So Muskegon in the home teal and black, the Waterford Sharks in the road whites in the mix of the orange and black striping. As Humpner stops in at the line, this will be sent in. Matt Berger's squad will get the first line changes of this game. Good hold up there and toward the right side red line as this will be flipped in now for Joseph Gibbs. Matt Berger says get yourself a number 25 and things will be good to go. Andrew Polosha now racing across the right wing, work his way to the middle. He kind of gets hip check taken out right in the middle of the ice as Muskegon try to push the other way. This gets knocked away from Nolan LeClaire. Opportunity now to give chase here for Theo Goody as the shot will rim around the end boards. Try to hold in at the line off a long shot, and Lay will be forced to hold at 18:49. So I do love the MIHL playoffs banner that we got on the side. I notice as I look across from my screen that I will be able to give you some of those time shutouts as we go across. So I will do that to keep you updated throughout where we are in the first, but we're really just about a minute and a half expired. This will be an O-zone draw. Kieran Carwell, number 16, will get set to take it. Carwell uses a top hand to draw back as this is near the right side boards. Carwell now off the brace. He's still with it. Send it back to defense. There'll be a shot in from the point that will be blocked aside up and on a play. So again, the ones to watch out for me, as you always talk about, number 16 and 61, the inverse, Kieran Carwell and Andrew Polosha. That's your assist man and goal man, respectively, for the Sharks. When they do damage and they play well, the Sharks do. As this goes off the tie-up, this is lost there for Muskegon. Lay's got to go out and stick this toward the right boards. This will give the Sharks possession as Zach Molkowski was almost being dorked by the camera shot. They had a lot of traffic on in front of it as Theo Goody will rim this around the end boards here for Jake Prober. The defenseman stuck on a pinch. And Prober, as this one is intercepted right in between the dots, the Sharks try to survey across, and this will be sent back down, eluding Gibbs and off the long outstretch. Theo is there off the brace as this work back around the end boards here for Jeremy Joyce. Puck gets blocked aside up into the air and sent back into the neutral zone. Here's a rolling puck. Opportunity off the long shot. This one will hit the glass. Ryan Gamber was the one that let it go. Now in toward the right side for Jeremy Joyce. The Sharks able to get this out. They'll go ahead and get some new troops as well, as this one shoveled into Muskegon's end. No score just yet at 17:35 left to go in the first. Try to find the entry off the drop was Nathan Albrecht. Again, he's wearing number 3, not Gavin Cunningham, as he was on the call-up from the Dashers. Jack Hudek still on the Dashers side. Long shot from Bowman, put into the right side red line, and now put in on the net Vonleh made that first save. This is not out of the zone yet as Siegel will go ahead and hold it in. As the Muskegon fans were pretty loud after that hit. This will be rimmed it around the corner for Groth off the slap shot clear. Now Muskegon trying to dipsy doodle and throw a phone booth. Nice work in the mix to find the entry off the long wrister. That one was in off the end boards from Zach Grover. And now the Sharks try to take this one from right to left. Alex Gregorich off a 1-on-4. His shot gets blocked as this is picked up in between some skate blades. Knocked away from Josh Hill. And now Muskegon right up the center of the ice. Good back check there. Groth, he ran into his man trying to defend. I think Elijah's going to be okay there. Riley Pitcher and Groth are going to exchange some words. Groth with a little bit of push there to number 72. I don't think anything's going to come up with it, but Elijah seems to be okay. .36 left to go in this scoreless first. This is game 5. Series is tied at 2-2, and there's no other spot to go here. Winner takes the championship, the Bill Law Memorial Cup. Sharks trying to be back-to-back champs. And Muskegon, that's a good save by Elijah Gibbons. And off of Andrew Taylor. And now intercepted. Sharks will try to get a piece of it off a long pass. We'll take this one from dot to dot. As he just gets around the traffic there was Kieran Carlisle. Flipped in toward the left side blue line. Isaiah Humpner going to go ahead and cheat for offense on the opposite side of the red. Muskegon try to jam in at the line, and Matt Berger wants to stop these plays before they ever get started. Stop those long breakouts for Muskegon. That's how they manufacture their offense. They'll race now down the left wing. Good cancel off by Gibbs. Sent back around now for Keppel on his backhand. He works way behind the net, gives it to Joseph. Good outstretch pass this one, and off the backboards for Kieran Carlisle, and the Sharks have iced it. So as we step into a little bit more throughout this game, I will start to go ahead and give you those shout-outs as we go across. I believe we got about 16 players and then a little bit of extra housekeeping for ourselves. We just want to let the game breathe for a little moment. Kieran Carlisle, this is off the shot that'll be deflected up into the air by Zach Cuthbertson and put to the right side corner. Muskegon off a good puck retrieval, but this is intercepted now. Papandrea able to get this one out with his outstretched pass, and the Sharks will battle for it here for Hunter Keppel. Almost turned over to Polosha as he's circled in behind the right side circle, and we get a whistle icing against the Voyagers. About 5 minutes have been expired of this first 20. John Utter with you alongside the Go Live Sportscast is Elijah Gibbons, getting the post settled underneath him on the left and right side. Get an O-zone draw. Gets set to take it as Zach Molkowski. Now toward the left side bumper. This will be cleanly picked up here for Muskegon and Ryan Gamber. Gamber off the drop pass as this goes toward the left side dot. Room around the end board. Zach Campbell will try to play this in between a couple skates and blades, and Theo Goody off the bounce and off the end boards will send this one down. Sent back around now for Joe DeWitt. He's got to do some housekeeping in his own end near the left side boards. Try to take this one cross ice. Sharks intercept it right at the line. And they'll try to see if they can get any offense going as this puck is jumbled right up the center ice. Zach Molkowski now try to give chase, and they're going to say Muskegon's going to get there first. A little break for DeFay. Another D-zone draw upcoming here for the Sharks. So we get a look at Theo Goody out in front of me and Joseph Gibbs, the two A's on the defensive side for the Sharks. Looks like Zach's going to take another draw here. We'll brush this one out here for Gibbs. You don't see the defenseman normally take the draw. He actually won that one off the bounce out for Molkowski. And this is right at center ice. I don't know how many face-offs that Joe Gibbs has ever taken this season. As this is in toward the right side boards. Theo Goody off the crunch. Gibbs, this is in between his skate blades now. Big battle as players get cleaned out. That was Gibbs that got knocked down, and Goody picks up his stick. And on the right side, Nathan Albrecht off the long flip. Sharks able to steal. Cole Halgamau trying to ride that right side wall. There's just so many foot soldiers over there. There's about 14:05 left to go in this scoreless first. Find the entry off the long flip. This is Elijah Gibbons. Brush it aside to the right side red line. We'll start again. Theo Goody, outstretched pass. Sharks will let this one go. Spencer Bowman near the left side of the wall as Sharks try to force the steal. Cannot do so. Find an entry with speed there for Schaefer off the backhand. Sharks will send it away through the neutral. Couple of stick taps. And Muskegon will retreat. Get their foursons all squared away for Isaiah Humner. He's pretty much pinched all the way left or right side for number 44. There's just a race on the right side red line and a pass across. For Micah was able to get a piece of it. Spencer Bowman. This is off the drop now for Luke. Luke tried to send this around here for Spencer. Be brushed aside by Lay. Now Luke McCarthy get a chance, number 10, to start things in his own end. As this is a shot that will be deflected toward the right side dot. Muskegon trying to enter with speed as Siegel tries to finish his hit. I think Siegel hit more of the boards than his man, but ended up getting the puck nonetheless. Muskegon, again, that blue line side long shot will be gloved and held by Elijah Gibbons. So for Coach Matt Berger, his daughter Stella Sloan, trained from Royal Oak, and we wish good help for Bob Holt in Utica for Matt Berger. I'm going to knock my way through this list as we go across, and I promise I will leave mine as well. So we appreciate it from Matt's friends and family, as I know he's busy doing the head coaching duties. Isaiah Huffner now, and toward the right side. This is deflected back in behind the net. Isaiah still doing a lap. No one's taken away from the puck. Little Gus Nyquist shift, and they score. 5-hole from the point. That will beat Elijah Gibbons. It probably shouldn't have. And Muskegon has drawn first blood. So credit that fully to Isaiah Huffner. He's the one that set up the play. He's going to get the primary at 12:43. Nothing much to that play other than the willingness to compete and not work. And Isaiah Huffner gets an all-important primary assist. So Riley Pitcher, 44. And now we got on the other side. Back pass across. Lay makes the save. And Luke McCarthy going to get the secondary. That one scored at 12:43 of the shot from the point. And wristed back down and cleared down the ice. Sharks try to enter with speed. Here's Polosha racing his way in behind the net. Polosha now off the end around for Milkowski. Number 61 still trying to battle with the puck right now, but this belongs to Muskegon. Again, they've outscored the Sharks in the first period in this building from games 1 and 2 and now 5-0, as it's 1-0 officially in our game with 11:55 left to go in the first. This will be sent back down amongst the end boards. Milkowski finishes his hit. Prober tries to get the steal. And Max Campbell will put this in behind the cage of Lay as players really come together near the right side boards. Milkowski with it. Prober to the net. Saved by Lay. Was on his forehand. That was good work there from Zach. And this will be iced against the Voyagers. What better time than now to try to capitalize? I can't imagine Muskegon's too tired after scoring that goal. That's going to lift you up a little bit more. But anytime you get that icing, the other team cannot change and get fresh troops. So you win these face-offs, maybe get a couple quick shots, a screen here from Matt Berger's squad to see what they want to do. Got to win it, though, first as Milkowski. This was in off the tie-up. Bouncing off the zebra. And this will be recollected here for the Sharks for a moment. Milkowski still trying to do work with it in behind the net as Theo Goody's on that back line. See if you just have to get back off the back skate. As this one get knocked out of play, and we will get that 60-second intermission. I'll step aside in the middle along for their intermission. We'll get settled for a neutral zone draw here. We'll go ahead and get to another one of these for Theo Goody, his mom Heather in Waterford. For Brad Goody, wishing health and fast healing for family in Maryland, Canada, and Florida. That's for the assistant captain, Theo Goody. So thank you, family, for watching across for that. We're trying to get the Sharks back into the goal-scoring column to tie this one up. And around the end boards here for Luke Formica. His pass will hit Grego. Grego takes a spill in amongst the boards. He pops right back up. Here's an outstretched pass too far for Siegel. Have to check up at the line, otherwise it would have been offsides there. Opportunity now, Grego off the stick lift. Just eludes. He wanted to make a play after attempting to take a hit. Bounces away from Formica. Excellent work for Zach Grover. We'll ship this one in deep here for Spencer Bowman. And off the end round now, Spencer Bowman will survey the captaincy for the Sharks, try to see what he likes, what he sees. Give back here for Spencer from Siegel. That was a pretty good pass combination. Let's see if they can find anything from it as a long shot. Rebound opportunity. Lay made the first save. Scores! The Sharks have tied it. 10-23. Couple of rebound opportunities. You hear the crowd kind of murmur there. Spencer Bowman and Jared Siegel were the ones that got it started. And Papandrea, looks like Papa G is the one that deposits the goal, number 5. And the Sharks are square at 10-23. So they're giving it to Josh Hill and Spencer Bowman. Bowman's got the primary. Papandrea has the game tire at 10-23. And the Sharks have made it a 1-1 game. That is what they needed to do. Here's another opportunity. That one goes wide and off the end glass as Polosha will hold this one deep. Back now for Jordan Truxton. Truxton's pass is a rolling vulcanized rubber that the Sharks have to check back up on into the neutral zone here. And Elijah Gibbons will go ahead and give it a look, but they're going to say Muskegon was way offsides. I think Luke McCarthy was too tired to go ahead and take a change. He just wanted to see what he could do. Tyler Groth, good pass in between two players. Job's not done, though, as Muskegon will push Waterford all the way back in their own end, and they're going to have to take a whistle. This will be a neutral zone draw for 9:31 left in the first. We're halfway through this first set of 10. My name is John Otten, listening alongside the Go Live Sportscast. We are happy to have you. So center ice draw actually is Theo Goody will fire this one in. Lay will make the save and go ahead and play it out into the right side boards. Sharks trying to win the contest. There's a cross pass feed. It's right at the net. There was a big rebound. Lay is down. Trying to get this again through a couple of screens. And the Sharks now have to race on their own end just across the blue line side. Good work for Gibbs. A little inside out right in near the players' bench. This will be a drop back now for Theo Goody as Elijah Gibbons wants to get his troops organized back in the net. He's sent around the end board here for Elijah. Stopping him behind the cage. Theo Goody. Now as the Sharks try to take it right to left, Milkowski needs a little bit of help as Nolan LeClaire was doing some of the damage, and Elijah this time holds it off the 5-hole. Gets a stick tap there from Zach as we sit at a 1-1 game. This will be an offensive zone draw for Jeremy Joyce. Try to win this one against Josh Hill. Sharks will get it, use it off the end glass. The last man back from Muskegon able to win this puck. Now for Micah. Quickly has to turn back around. Elijah Gibbons going to make the smart play. Will hold. Let's get to another one of these for John Pranch and his family. Friend Austin and Macy in Oklahoma. Thank you guys for listening and following along on the Go Live Sportscast. Here is a face-off, scores! Right in off the draw. This should be Nolan LeClaire, number 20. I think he was the one that let it fly. Again, 5-hole on a couple of those goals. Maybe they have that scouting report there off of Elijah Gibbons, but one of these ones I think he probably should have. He did not get the second one. Nolan LeClaire makes it a 2-1 lead for the Voyagers. So Jeremy Joyce going to get the primary. That one at 8:27 from Nolan LeClaire, who has been red hot in this series. Nolan LeClaire had scored in games 3, 4, and now 5. And the Sharks one more time find themselves down a goal, as this one will be sauced and out of the air. Elijah Gibbons will quickly stop the end around, and he'll make the pass toward the right side red line as the Sharks look to break out off a long outstretched pass. Be a race forward now for Joe DeFay. He gets a piece of it for a moment. Again, it's only a 1-goal deficit for the Sharks, but you didn't want to see them give up as many as they have on a couple of the ways that have been scored. You want to see that kind of get locked up, and it's going to need to be in the next set of 40. Any of those shots from deep with the 5 holes, that just can't happen, because you know that Elijah's going to have to make a couple of big saves. Is this one off the tie-up right in front of the net, does not get to it. Back down for the Sharks. Easily win the hybrid ice off the touch for Groff. 7:18 is what's left of this first period. Nick Papandrea has got the lone goal for the Sharks, but you got Riley Picture and Nolan LeClaire with the goals for Muskegon. We'll see who takes this lead at the end of the first. We still got 7:18 left to go in it. There's nowhere to go after this. This is the final game of the playoffs here. We're in a do-or-die game 5 as a shot in from the left dot is held by Lay. And when we do get the Sheboygan Wendigo in the Flint Shadow in the season next year, you'd have to think that Muskegon and Waterford are still going to be the top picks as far as being into the postseason, getting in the finals again. If you've done it for 5 years in a row, you can make it 6. Another shot. This one is a quick glove save for Lay and toward the left side dot. So the Sharks trying to win a couple of draws and put that together, which would be paramount. Zach Mulkowski going to get set to take it. This will go toward the left side boards. That's where Riley Picture is. Sharks will keep this on the right side. Blue line and a big hit. Sharks cross-checked after that as well. The first one was clean, maybe not so much the second. As an elbowing, I believe, is going to be issued against Muskegon. That's what I saw from the Zebra, at least from my sight line. Again, I have the Sharks netminder, Elijah Gibbons, with me from the first and third. When the action change ends, I will see a lot more of that on top of me. For everything else, I will need to use the screen. But it is indeed a penalty for Luke McCarthy, the assistant captaincy in the box for elbowing. It's no contest there from the crowd as this one will get sent back down. Cross-ice pass. Pretty good one here for Papandrea. Papandrea will make the smart play, put it around the end boards now. Now you have an extra opportunity with a forward on the ice. They usually go 4 forward and 1 D. Sharks will fumble the puck, however, and this will Muskegon flip this one down the ice. They can do so because of the penalty kill. And now intercepted at the line, but it was Taylor who was off. And Muskegon essentially going to go ahead and take that time and throw it back behind their own net because they don't want the Sharks to touch it. Settle back down again. This time it'll be Joe Gibbs. We've seen number 25 go end-to-end and score goals on the power play or shorthanded. It's like that Victor Hedman type for the Tampa Bay Lightning. He can do it all. Cole Halgamo off the seam pass. Have to pick up his own bank off the end boards, and the Sharks find a way right up the gut. Spencer Bowman off the long shot. This one will get sent in. Lay stops it, and then he has to give the rebound there from Nathan Albrecht and force a hold. Fives are wild. That's what time is left. 5-5-5. 2-1 is our score. Muskegon is out in front. Nolan LeClaire has the latest. Gregorich going to take this draw. Just kept in the blue line now for the Sharks. We'll see what they can do. They got the first power play of the game. Don't know how many more they'll get. Cole Halgamo into the traffic. 5-hole save by Lay as this is at the right side red line. Pressed in on the end boards off the long outstretched feed. Here's an opportunity shorthanded here for Muskegon. Back end defense there. Josh Hill able to knock his man down. That was Jeremy Joyce. Fans wanted a penalty. They're not going to get it. Ike left the lead for Gregorich. He was near the left side of the post, but the puck didn't get there. Now Joe Gibbs, high slot. He lets it go through the traffic. This is deflected, picked up now for Cole Hogemo. Spencer Bowman. Gregorich is right there trying to obscure the sight lines. He's got it in behind the mesh, but he throws it right to Muskegon. And they can go ahead and safely clear this one down the ice. Penalty going to set to expire here right now. So Muskegon is 1 for 1 on the kill. Waterford 0 for 1. Find the entry now as Riley Picture, the captaincy, the defenseman, no stranger to go ahead and run an offense. He was all the way down the ice. And Joe Gibbs used this one off the end boards. Here for Cole Hogemo. Pass to the right side, fake the wrister. Gregorich does let it fly on the second effort, and Lay has got it with the glove. Cole Hogemo just set up that play alongside for Gregorich. Thank you from Cole's family, from his family listening in and following along from Florida. Happy to have you. Kieran Carlisle will try to windmill this one between his legs. Put this toward the right side of the post. It'll be chipped in off the glass now, where the Sharks will go ahead and get the rolling vulcanized rubber for Micah. Bounces off the backboards here for Polosha. He had to get around 3 players. Sharks will get it. For Micah now, get a chance to slow this down just for a moment. The Sharks are only down 1, but it's about 4 minutes left to go in this first. John Hunter with you alongside the Go Live Sportscast. Hunter Kalpel gets around 2 to find the entry and around the left side red line. And here comes Muskegon the other way off the 2-on-2. Siegel on the back check, knocks it away for a moment. Sharks do get some reinforcements from Micah. Surveys. We'll go ahead and look back. And alongside for Kieran Carlisle. Not a Luke. For Micah, number 77, trying to work his way up ice. Siegel with the combination pass and behind the inboards. Couple Sharks give chase. And they'll go ahead and take an abbreviated breath and behind their own net and like what they see off the long outstretched pass. This will be a left side red line pickup now for Kieran Carlisle. And flip back down for Siegel. Again, he's got that red jersey tuck that makes number 26 easy to find. Now toward the left side as this is knocked away from Kevin Belvich, number 12, back to the Sharks. As pace is starting to slow down just a little bit. The Sharks only down 1, but they need to be able to make some plays. Again, that's what Matt Berger told me as he flipped around. Big-time players make big-time plays in games like these, and that's all that's left to do. Being ozone draw. Quick shot, and then the Sharks score right off of it. Thank goodness I was looking at the monitor because it's 3 minutes right at the marker, and the Sharks score right off the draw, and that's exactly what they needed. This is a clean win back. Volkowski. That looked like a designed play for the Sharks, and Max Campbell with his fist in the air because he's the one that scored at number 8. So Zach Mikowski going to get a primer on Campbell's snipe. Again, he wins that one. Campbell cuts right across. He aims for the bottom right corner of the net, and he deposits the check. Now the Sharks have some traffic on the front of the net. Prober was just launching himself, number 20, the Highland, Michigan native. That's where my hometown is right now. This one's sent in behind the inboards. I'll get my shout-outs at the very end of this one. Hopefully in a win. 2:30 left to go in this first. Max Campbell's just tied the game at 2, and Gibbons will make the glove save in off the rush. So as he mentioned in games 1 and 2 at Lakeshore Sports Center, Sharks were down 2-0 at the end of the first. We've already had a ton of goals. Right now the score line is tied, and we might be within that 1 goal that we've been through the first 4, but the outlier might be just the bushel of goals that we've already had just in this period alone. But again, we talk about the offenses, and I'm glad I did. Theo Goody, this one in off the tie. Papandrea will send this one down deep. Sharks did not gain the red line, so they've iced it against themselves. I think there's a confab in which the Muskegon Voyagers and Waterford Sharks want the puck drop, but again, it's just going to be a D-zone draw here off the ice nonetheless. And Josh Hill and Jeremy Joyce both look none too pleased about that whistle. Joyce had won it clean, and he'll try to do so again, and he did. This is wristed through the traffic, bounces off Muskegon bodies. Good save there for Gibbons, had the traffic out in front. In between for Ryan Gamber, let the backhand go. Spencer Bowman now on his wrister, who works his way backhand toward the left post. And somehow rebound does find Lay with 1:54 left to go in the first. So the Muskegon goals and Nolan LeClaire and Riley Picture, again that was a 12:43 for Picture, Nolan LeClaire at 8:27, have been answered by the Sharks. Nick Papandrea, the defense, at 10:23, and forward Max Campbell right at the 3-minute marker has made it a 2-2 game. Keppel in off the tie-up. I'm surprised he didn't get called for a trip there. Must not have got the stick in the legs. One of the Voyagers did go down. Here's a hit. Siegel able to brace for it. Now Muskegon will take the long flip down the left side red line. Try to finish the hit. Luke McCarthy, excellent avoidance near the left side red line because he would have got absolutely paintballed in the corner. This is kept in off the deflection and work his way off the backside of the net of Elijah Gibbons. As we've got about 80 seconds left to go in this first period. It's a 2-2 game. Finding entry off the drop pass. McCarthy again. This one reverberates off the end glass in Muskegon. This is where we are for Game 5. Muskegon has the number 1 seed. They've been that way pretty much throughout the entirety of the MIHL. They get to host games 1, 2, and 5. The series was in Waterford last week for 3 and 4. Picked up at the red line as we're underneath a minute in this 2-2 game. It's been a thriller of the first. It's been a thriller throughout the series. Find the entry now from left to right does Muskegon. Off the long flip again. This one bounces right in front of the right dot. And now the Sharks try to find an entry pass. Couldn't do so. And Papandrea and Gibbons will just team up to slow it down. Now toward the right side dot. This is off the tie-up. Muskegon try to get this around the inboards here for Kevin Belvich. It was loose out for a moment. The net gets taken off its moorings. Papandrea gives Belvich a long look. And now they get a hole for Chris Hawkins. Hawkins is the man who likes to draw the fists. He's a little barrel full of Tabasco sauce, says Frank. And I think that is probably the right moniker. Don't let anyone else get under your ire. Because all that matters right now is putting goals in the back of the net. Nothing else matters at this point. You don't want to give yourself any other extracurricular penalties. Groth off the long flip. It's been touched with some skates. The Sharks wanted a hand pass. They're not going to get that one there. That would have gave them a neutral zone draw at least. They'll contend behind their own net. Groth. Beautiful pass off the embankment. This will go to the blue line side now for Muskegon. Little move for Nathan Albrecht and a whistle away from the play at 10 seconds as a helmet is on the ice. So anytime that happens, you're going to blow play dead because you don't want anyone to get hit with a puck or take a body check. That's Grego's lid. And as the Zebras are exchanging some words here, we get some good camera shots. Good work there, guys, of Alex Gregorich. Another neutral zone draw upcoming here. Papandrea on the backhand line with Kieran Carlisle, number 16. Hunter Keppel's got his position out wide. Kieran, this one in off the drop toward the left side boards is too far for Polosha, and Elijah will go ahead and play it there for Papandrea. His pass does not get out, but that ends the first period. It was an entertaining one. It's 2-2 after one. Again, Riley Picture, Nolan LeClaire, Nick Papandrea, Max Campbell. So there'll be a lot to set up in my Facebook recap when we start the second. I'll give you more shout-outs as we go across. I still got a lot of work to do. We get the sponsorships across. So after one in this championship game, the side who wins Bill Memorial Cup, it's 2-2. Come right back. We'll call more. So I know we're going to be getting settled here for the second period. Sharks making their way out on the ice. There was a lot to get to in that first period. John on here alongside with the Go Live Sportscast. It was a busy first. The scoreboard was busy. 2-2 tie. In exchange for goals for both teams, Riley Picture and Nolan LeClaire at 12:43 and 8:27 for Muskegon, answered by Waterford in collective fashion. Nick Papandrea at 10:23 and Max Campbell at 3 minutes off the draw. There was a sweet goal off the assist there for Zach Milkowski. A little cruise to the right for Campbell. Finish off with the wrister. Pretty good work there. Again, let me give you a couple of these other shout-outs across. And for Zach Milkowski and his grandparents, his dad in Westland, Michigan. Want to throw that out there. Thank you for listening. And for Rule and Ruben and all the Galongs, Jeremy Martin, family in Ontario, and family in and around Metro Detroit. Thank you guys for tuning in as well. This one has been a lot of fun. I'm going to continue to find my way through this, and honestly, I might have to speed up a couple of these because I know Mama Shark have left things a little bit busy there alongside for Alex and Zach, but we will get to those as well. Right now we have a second period to go ahead and talk about. 2-2, and we'll see who draws first blood in this second period and who gives their team the lead. So as we get set to get underway, we got the score clock shut out there as well, so I won't have to give you as many of those as we get an immediate whistle right at 19:49. So as I was talking about from the pregame side, when you think about what's the statistical anomaly going to be, that might be the 2-2 score. I've already seen 4 goals scored in the first period. It's not an anomaly for these offenses, but we haven't seen goals like that in this series and that type of span that quickly. And we'll see. Somebody's going to be game for this because right now it seems to be first to 5. We'll see if that ends up changing as well. As this is in the Sharks' end and off the long chance. So bounce off of Gibbons' net. Raleigh Picture try to get a puck retrieval. In the left corner, Spencer Bowman gets taken out. I think he might have lost an edge. Trying to back skate. And Elijah Gibbons will make the save nonetheless. This is a winner-take-all Game 5 of the Michigan Independence Hockey League Finals. My name is John Ott, and we have nowhere else to go today. The Bill Law Memorial Cup is in the building. We will get a chance to get those camera shots, maybe even some post-game interviews depending on what happens here, as Elijah Gibbons will play this toward the right side end boards. Again, we've switched ends, so I have Devon Lay on the other side for me on the Sharks' pressure for this second period and see if they can try to find something and off the end around for Jordan Truxton, assistant captain. Here's a chance off the backside. Hunter Keppel tried to get a piece of it, but he got knocked away off the body. Otherwise, he probably could have stuffed that in toward the right post. That was some good defense there for Raleigh pitcher. Here's a chance right out of front. Lay is down. And now trying to get a stick on it there was Kieran Carlisle, but he just couldn't do it. Lay probably saw his light flash before his eyes a couple times as Muskegon will try to rush the other way. This one off the outside of the cage is going to give the Sharks some possession and a chance off a 2-on-1. Cole Halgamo racing to the back post. One of the Sharks gets taken down. They're going to be a man down here as looks like Cole Halgamo, big hit into the right side board. So the Sharks trying to give us good enough. Cole Halgamo, a monster hit the other way against Andrew Taylor. I know that was going to be all of our camera shot as we get a delayed hand in the air. Cole Halgamo, I think, might be getting a penalty unless they say they're going to need some other reinforcements on the ice. Well, Cole Halgamo, after taking his hit toward the right side red line, he punished toward the left. I think that's what the call is going to end up being. That's not what the Sharks want to do, but Cole Halgamo is the one that's going to take it because he was the one that had a fever dream as far as seeing some of those hits. He wanted to retaliate. So Halgamo at 18:05. And hopefully for Muskegon, that does not give them life to try to tie this one up. That's what the Sharks fans are hoping not happening. As Nathan Albrecht get it back in there from the point. Here's the cross pass set up. Rister, this one will go wide. That was let go by Ryan Gamber. Muskegon gets their first power play of the game. Waterford 0 for 1. Albrecht into the traffic. Sharks able to clear this one down the ice via the backhand. Good interception there for Albrecht. Again, the call from the Dashers in the Federal Prospects Hockey League. That's one step up away from the MIHL. Now in toward the left side red line. As this will be collected a couple times. Got about 17-15 there officially. Penalty time is about 1:05 to Cole Halgamo. Now toward the right side bumper. Albrecht was the one that gave the pass across. Muskegon still with it. Try to work their way on the forehand. They're kept to the outside right now against the wall. Cross pass now near the left dot. Muskegon should be able to hold this in alongside for Nolan LeClaire. He's got one of the goals here for Muskegon, but Waterford does get this out of the zone at least. Try to check back up quickly now are the Voyagers. Excellent work for Albrecht. Little inside out against the zebra there and behind the net of Elijah Gibbons. Recollected now near the right side. Here's a long wrister. This will be a dangerous bounce on in front of the net there, but Elijah Gibbons didn't have to make the save. Sharks will find a way to get out of it. 20 seconds left of penalty time. That's what Cole Halgamo is hoping. Behind the inboards now, Sharks will do work. Kieran Carlisle has to get around 3 Voyagers. Isaiah Hovner dispossesses him of the puck. And now the Voyagers can start again on their own end from right to left. Again, they are on the home plex with the teal. Waterford Sharks are in the road whites. Raleigh pitcher got a ton of speed. He's always dangerous, number 72. On his backhand now against the inboards. Kieran Carlisle, number 16, trying to get this loose here for the Sharks. Cole Halgamo returns out of the box. Both teams 0 for 1 on the power play. Sharks now work their way up the gut. Offsides, they say. That was Joe Gibbs and Hunter Keppel. And that would have been a 2-on-1 against Lay, and if I had my guess, that probably would have been pay dirt. Tyler Groth's family in South Lyon and in Texas. Thank you for listening and following along. It was nice to get to talk to Justin McComas and Tyler last time on the game 1 and 2 side. We appreciate them giving me some quotes. We'll get you that game story about the Tuesday side as well. I want to bring some good news back. We're going to take the road trip as well. I might as well bring some good news back. Devon Lay. He's going to hold it on the second thought. There was a lot of leeway there on that whistle. Usually you get about 5 seconds, and past that the whistle's going to be automatically blown. But that is what we have right now. Get you an ozone draw here for Waterford. Polosha gloves it down, sends this one toward the net. Lay looks behind him That's a good chance to, on the second pair, to get some different sight lines for me to relay to you. As Hunter Keppel will flip this one in behind the net of lay around the glass. Sharks off the spin and turn for Micah. He's a big man to take off the puck. And now he finishes the hit as there's a stick right in between the Sharks bench. Lay comes back behind to close it out. Zach Milkowski tried to get a theft in behind the inboards of Christian Montgomery. Touch the other way for Polosha. U of M man. Work his way in behind the net now, number 61, always so dangerous. Hopefully everything else for his goal scoring is not going to be bothering him, because you know he's been nursing the shoulder. A lot of these guys have been beat up. Montgomery behind the inboards. As Papandreou will give chase alongside with Campbell. Campbell scored the tying goal right at 3 minutes for Waterford. Nothing yet in the second as we get another ride into the right side boards. Montgomery now with it. Try to send this one through the goal mouth, and the shot gets blocked aside by the Muskegon defense. Inadvertently race for the puck. A battle. Milkowski, that was excellent work there. I think he got all tied up with the stick. As they play on, we say. Flip back down the other way off the backhand, and Milkowski, nice burners here. Number 10 sends this one across for Pandra. That passed a little bit too hard off the blade. And now near the players' bench. Zach will get some secondary help, able to flip this one in. Now Siegel, and off the pin and turn as we get an in around the boards here. Max Campbell will get a touch. As we recollected here for Nolan LeClaire. We'll just shoot this thing toward the right side end boards. Muskegon finally gets entry right up center ice. Here's a delayed pass right in front of the goal mouth. This is too far for Elijah Gibbons. It's centered toward the left side post, and it's going to go in. I think it's a rebound on the side of the sightlines. I'll take a look on the camera shots that we got. But this was just a clear send-in from about center ice, and that started the puck possession. Not going to see what that hit, but it might have bounced off of some of those bodies in near the left post at 13:32. So Nolan LeClaire's got his second of the game from Nathan Olbrecht. That's the official marker at 13:32. I think that had to have hit something near the left post from the camera shots that we got. Again, I'm on the opposite end from where we would be in the second, so I don't get to track Elijah Gibbons as well. But there was a clear send-in from about center ice, and toward that back post, there had to be something to bounce it off of. A lot of bodies or a shot it from the point that Gibbons never found. Being O-zone draw. This is the third time the Sharks have to play from down a goal. That one just missed the right side post. And how many times is that going to happen? Isaiah Humpner now up the gut. He sends his backhand to the goal mouth. That almost caught Gibbons by surprise. You don't want to have that happen too many more times. As this will flip back now for Bowman off the give and go. That pass does not hit. Sharks, and off the deflection. Here's a rebound. Lay made the first save. This one's brushed to the left side red line. Bowman now try to get a tie-up. Send him back in behind the end boards here for Luke McCarthy. Again, Nolan LeClaire, his second of the game. And now Luke McCarthy gets hit hard as he's tied up and alongside with Alex Gregorich. He loses his helmet for a second time. And I think the heat might be turned up in the kitchen for number 63 as far as being perturbed. I wouldn't blame him. This game's starting to get pretty physical. Again, we haven't seen fisticuffs yet. I wouldn't imagine we would see that in a championship game, but some of these hits have been pretty strong. Thank you to Jake Prober's brother listening in Denver, Colorado. We appreciate you. Trying to get the Sharks again back to a goal to good to at least tie this one up. It's been back and forth. Little seesaw affair in this championship game 5. Karen Carlisle on his backhand lay is down, and Muskegon able to shovel this back into their netminder. A little bit of a face wash going on both sides. And now we want a little extra here for Nolan LeClaire, who's already got a couple of goals, as him and Karen Carlisle, 16, exchange some words off of the smelly gloves. Hunter Keppel will take the outside portion of the wing and do it again off the top hand for Kieran Carlisle. Won by the Sharks. This one deflected in front as Keppel takes a spill. And we'll get another whistle. Get an ozone draw here again. This time Jeremy Joyce. Try to take this one on the D end for Muskegon. Off the top end for Kieran. There's a rolling puck. Kept it at the blue line. The Sharks have to send this in. Polsher trying to get some inside-out work off the shovel. And now, as long as the puck moves behind the boards, the referees cannot blow this play dead. Kieran Carlisle merges across the red line. Keppel. He did not try to bank this one off a lay. He'll try to send this one toward the blue line side, but the pass too hard to reconnect there for Siegel. Siegel on his back skate. As we're almost halfway through this second period. Sharks need one more goal to tie. Cross pass, that one just too far for Siegel in between his skates. Cole Halgamo, some secondary work as this pass will get out of the zone there for Nolan LeClaire. Little jump out of the air as the Sharks' Elijah Gibbons, goaltender, will play this one on the left side red line. Pass here for Muskegon and off the end around. This will be some good work for Chris Hawkins. Siegel send it back there safely as the Sharks try to go left to right in this period. It's blocked out in front of Muskegon a couple times. They're falling down to make a play, and the Sharks will at least chip this off the glass and allow themselves to get organized. I don't think they have time for any changes, though. Siegel looks to be exhausted. He might have got banged up a little bit on some of that body contact. Number 26, we'll watch for that. As players come together inside the left side red line. And the Sharks take an outstretched pass. Good opportunity here for Papandrea. Survey off his backside. Take the long shot. There was a rebound out in front from Mulkowski. He will get the steal. Send it toward the net. It's a left pad save for Lay. Mulkowski was heads up to it. The job's not done, though, but Muskegon finally gets reinforcements. And we'll get this one down the ice. Beat out the hybrid icing there was Kevin Belvich. Again, his slap shot goal in Game 2 was a go-ahead in the third period. They ended up helping them win it. Step through nicely for the Sharks off a 1-on-3. Gets in possession. Gregorich takes a hit to make a play. Riley picture is right there. He's got a lot of burners to use. This is a rolling puck right at center ice. Beginning across the red line. Stopped by Lay. This is intercepted by the Sharks down in front. Bowman does not score. Oh, I almost put my hand in the air. As we still sit at 3-2. We're halfway through the second now. As this one's recollected off some skate blades. Gibbs, excellent work. We'll send this one deep for Bowman. Try to give it right back to Gibbs. This one bounces in front. Picked up by the Muskegon defense. Joe Gibbs not giving up on this play. Christian Montgomery takes a hit. This will be sent back down. That was an excellent combination for Spencer Bowman. I'm not sure how he didn't score. 9:37 left to go. In the second period, we're more than halfway through. 30 minutes have expired in this championship do-or-die Game 5. John Ott, I'm your play-by-play man. Here for Go Live Sportscast, Terry Ficcarelli. I see him up in the booth. One of these teams is going to take it today. We got another one-goal nail-biter on our hands. What else is new? Raleigh picture. We'll take this one cross-ice pass. Opportunity, Luke McCarthy off the full spin. He lost the puck on the second effort. That would have been absolutely nasty. That's a play he can make. This is toward the right side. Here's a shot for Elijah Gibbons toward the back post. Shovel in the corner now. Sharks have to spin and turn. Going to run out of room, though. We'll try to find this puck in the left side boards. There's a flip up in the air. In between the middle of the slot, the Sharks will cough it up. And now toward the left side dot. Just a couple of stick chops for Theo Goody. Finally get this one D to D. And now the Sharks can keep their head up. Try to make this pass ahead. Hunter Keppel gets rocked toward the left side of the boards. My goodness. It's picked up here now. Malkowski and Kieran Carlisle. Carlisle was the one that got rocked there, number 16. As this is recollected now for Montgomery. Intercepting to Goody. They say he did not hold the line. That was awfully close. And we'll see if Hunter Keppel popped back up. Man, oh man, that was a hit. Hunter Keppel is actually next on my sheet for family in Pittsburgh, PA. I hit a collective gaffes alongside you. I'm going to make sure that 23 is okay and give you the good news, because that was a ride against the right side boards. Be a neutral zone draw after that immediate timeout. Again, they got to do that for the radio side for Terry, so that's why they take a little bit elongated. Here's a long shot, goes off the stick of Devon Lay and shove it in the corner. Opportunity now for Nolan LeClaire to try to get this one out, as this will be flipped out of play with 8:22 left to go in the middle frame. So LeClaire got his second, and alongside for Nathan Albrecht. That's all we have to tell you about in this middle frame. It's given Muskegon a 3-2 lead. This will be iced against the Voyagers. They cannot change. We're at Lakeshore Sports Center for the third and final time in the MIHL Finals. I am told that Commissioner Scott Brand will be in the building delivering the trophy, the Bill Long Memorial Cup, to one of these two teams. Sharks trying to get back-to-back championships. Muskegon trying to take back what they believe is rightfully theirs. It has been that way a lot in the MIHL. These two teams are meeting for a fifth consecutive time in the finals. Now toward the left side red line off the long flip. This will bounce off of Lay's right pad and some more contact as Gregorich took another hit. Find an entry now, in off the drop pass, pretty play, one more touch, and Elijah Gibbons with a big save in near the left side post as one of the Voyagers is tied up with Groth. That was Joe DeWitt. Again, Joe DeWitt is one of those guys with Cole Helgamo. On last Sunday's game, when things got too physical, Cole Helgamo gave him some punches and some what fours. Andrew Taylor going to go ahead and take this one for Muskegon. He's put in behind the inboards now for Joe Gibbs. Gibbs following down. We'll get this to his other defensive partner as we are starting to run out of time in the second period. It's been another nail-biter. Good seam pass. Josh Hill lost it in between escape blades, however. Recollected here for Nathan Albrecht. He'll spin and turn and lead to his net monitor. 3-2 is our score line. Sharks really need this next goal. Again, Muskegon has scored the first time. The Sharks have come right back to tie it each time, and now they need to do so again. Now to the right side boards. This will be kept in at the line, bouncing off the body. Long slap shot. Gibbons makes the save, and off the backhand effort, Gibbons able to find that too, but that was an awfully big rebound. But Gibbons stood tall for it. Kieran Carlisle going to get set to take this one against Zach Grover, 16 and 18. This one's sent the other way behind the inboards for Kieran Carlisle. Gain the red line, that's the same thing. Muskegon will fire it back in. And this will go out of play right at 6:50. Want to get a little more time as far as the stoppages. I'll get across there for Alex. I still got a few more to do alongside my own shout-outs that we'll throw at the end, but there's a little bit too many for Mama Shark. I'm not going to say it's a full paragraph, but he's got a lot of family watching. Sent back now for Hunter Keppel, who is indeed back on the ice after taking that play, but he looks no worse for wear from what he's already dealing with. Polsha now. It's toward the blue line side to go D-to-D. Theo Goody. This is saved by Lay. Bounced up in the air. And now behind the mesh. As Theo wants the puck. Here for Kieran Carl. He gets pasted in amongst the boards. And now I got something in front of me. Hunter Keppel feeding bombs the other way against Nathan Albrecht because holy cow, did Kieran get smoked. Hunter Keppel still going, and he's giving the best of it right now to Nathan Albrecht. Albrecht coming over with some serious overhand rights. And we got a big scrap that you can see all over the sheet, and I don't blame Keppel there coming in the defense of his teammate. I want to see if Kieran's okay. I'm not seeing any blood as they're handing the gloves. Again, that's right at my sight line, and that's right in front of where we are as the housekeeping duty is done the other way for Joe DeFay. That was one of the healthiest scraps that we've seen all year. Until you're no stranger to that. But timestamp that at 6:23. So Kieran Carlisle takes a big hit toward that left side red line, and he got cross-checked pretty good. That could almost be called boarding, especially from where I'm at, because you could see that pretty clearly. And Hunter Keppel came right to his man's defense, and there was a big square off. Between Hunter Keppel and Nathan Albrecht, number 3. So we are going to get some housekeeping here as we're looking, and alongside those camera shots, we got a Matt Berger, the head coach, and Dave Irwin. So at 6:29, I mean, that almost looks like textbook boarding to me. Keppel says, you know what, I'm dropping the gloves, as we're getting that camera shot right now, so get to your devices. Couple of bombs in behind. Again, the helmet's still on. Keppel trying to get that glove loose to try to throw some overhands and some uppercuts, and then here comes Albrecht with a big one. As now Keppel has his jerseys tucked over his head and looking more like Boo the Ghost of a Mario Kart side as they go ahead and exchange some bombs. But that was a really good scrap, and I really don't blame Hunter coming to the defense there of Kieran Carlisle because that was a borderline hit, and that is me being nice. So we're going to get 5 for fighting at least in the mix of Albrecht and Keppel. That's for certain. Are we going to get any extras here? Sharks probably have a right design to go ahead and ask for it. I think they probably could get it. Good work there on the replays per usual, guys, on there. So, I'm looking at an ozone draw right now. Josh Hill and Riley Pitcher going to go have a little bit of a confab. And for Jeremy Joyce. So in for the Gregorich family, as I'm looking at 6:23, again, you got minors here listed for Albrecht and Keppel, but that really should be a 5 and not 2. We'll see how they end up handling that. But I got Aunt Linda and Uncle Tom in Des Moines. Best wishes to Aunt Linda for a speedy recovery. Washington State family, aunts and uncles. So got cousins in Texas. Michigan Papa and Mary and Royal Oak, Zach in West Bloomfield, and the M1 Griffins United hockey team from the Gregorich side of family and Mama Shark. So 2 for boarding. That should be a power play at least there for the Sharks. I think that had to be called. And now Riley Pitcher as we're underway. Going to get things going in his own end. Riley Pitcher off the cross pass. Finds some energy now. That was a good respite for both teams, I would have to imagine. His working behind the net was Jeremy Joyce. Sharks try to make an outstretch for Josh Hill. Joyce will get the intercept. He's got the puck now. He's got about 6 minutes live left to go here. Spun now for Jordan Truxton. This one's picked off by the Sharks, and Grego gets hit toward the face off that last side, and he's got some words there for the Zebras, and I imagine Mama Shark will too at the side of it because I saw her stand up. I can see that right where I am. It looks like Grego got hit in the mouth. Went off the drive-by from Truxton. He has been beat up pretty good in this one. And unless the Sharks get the result that they want, there will not be happy players on either side of the ice if they do not get the result that they want. But we made the trip. We might as well try to get the job done. That's the moniker here. Heavy is the crown, though. That's the other one they always use. Zach Mulkowski off the forehand turn. This will give Sharks possession. Papandrea has already got one. Trying to work this in behind the inboards. He was looking for Polsha, and that didn't materialize. This is intercepted. Good hand-eye right out of the air. Papandrea a little overskate of the puck. As he has to take a rough ride against the inboards. Kieran Carlisle was the one who got boarded. He is back out there on the ice. Kieran on his backhand as the Sharks try to go left to right. We got about 5 minutes left to go in this second period. This has been a very loud, physical second. Andrew Polsha, and off the tie-up now, centering feed, and this one is partially deflected. This goes off Carlisle's blade. He gets the retrieval, takes this one D-to-D. Here's the cross pass, shot goes way high from Theo Goody. Kept in the zone now, Sharks in at the point. That one goes above the net. Kieran try to get a retrieval, it's Truxton. They'll slowly send this back and around the inboards. Kieran not giving up on the play. Scores! What a setup from Kieran Carlisle to Theo Goody. It's a 3-3 game with 4:42. Theo Goody with a wicked wrister toward the right side post, and we're square. So I can mention this because I don't think I had a John Stonehouse quota last week. I didn't mention his name. But one of the ones we called in the championship was Theo Goody's insurance goal that gave the Sharks a 2-goal lead in a championship last year. Well, he scored the biggest one of the Sharks season right now. It's tied it from Kieran Carlisle's puck pickup after he was just boarded toward the left side red line. That, I believe, is going to be a power play goal. So Theo Goody, Kieran Carlisle, Zach Dance obviously hot about something. Another good camera shot. I'm able to give you guys some shout-outs, and I'm glad to do so. And you say, hey, you didn't see this boarding or whatever else on the other side? If I can read lips. Again, I'm not a master, but he did motion for boarding here that he thought should have been called against the Sharks. It was not. And we are tied at trace. So 4:30 left to go in this second period. It's a 3-3 game. And I did say when it got to 2-2, this might be first to 5, and I think that's where we're going to be today. Here's an opportunity off the long flip, and why was that whistled off? Alex Gregorich saying the same thing. And they try to flip the puck right to the referee here, and Jordan Truxton will have to do it again. That's a curious whistle in my eye. And Grego's still coming over and having words. Josh Hill will get set to take it. Isaiah Humner as the forward on his back post. With Andrew Taylor, the assistant captaincy for Muskegon. So Theo Goody's wrister, and if that glass wasn't there, I might have got smoked in the head. As this is picked up here for a Raleigh picture for a moment. Good battle there. Grego's back out there. He gets taken down. Spencer Bowman gets it. And across the inboards for 63. Uses the outreach. Now in from the point. This is sent back in behind the mesh of Devin Lay. It's a 3-3 game. Spencer Bowman off the retrieval. And the high slot. Here's a pass looking across the goal mouth. They didn't shoot it. Diving play from Gregorich. And this will give the Sharks some puck possession. With 3:40 left to go in this middle frame. Theo Goody has just tied it. Assistant captaincy back on D. In the mix of Kieran Carlisle, who just got boarded. Ended up getting a primary assist. So, it's got to feel good for him. Might take away the pain marginally. But you know what more will help with that trophy? Here's a wrister. And alongside for Bowman, Lay makes the save with the right pad. Sharks will go ahead and circle back. Off this pass across the left side red line and gain it in. Bounces off a Lay. Too far against for Truxton as they'll pick it up now for Christian Montgomery. Intercepted here. Groth deflected. And this one bounces off of Bowman. That was a good idea. Groth had the right wrister there. Bowman just couldn't get a stick blade on it. Bounce up into the air now for Muskegon. Try to send it back the other way. This has been with the Sharks for a lot for this back end of the second period as they've just gotten this tied. But how much energy have they expended? They've only been down by 1, but they've had to come back 3 times to tie this game up. Now they got to try to get on the right foot. It's a 3-3 game, and I do believe it's going to be first to 5. That's just my calling card. I was thinking it was going to be a high-scoring game. I thought maybe one of these teams would take complete control, but we're still within that 1-goal moniker. Jeremy Joyce now toward the right side. Zach Mulkowski. As this will be off a couple of stick blades. Zach's got to get back on his horse here as this will be sent back in now for Joe DeFay. And we'll get a stoppage at 2:10. So as we get set to do this draw again, here for Mama Shark for Laura. Here a shout out for Dina, right hand gal, and then Mary from Iowa for Mama Shark. Thank you for listening and following along as you always do. Trying to get this W for you here on the road. Karen Carlisle will get set to do battle alongside Jeremy Joyce. Sharks will get possession of it again as we're just about 2 minutes left to go in this middle frame. Here's a chance for Cole Helgamo. That was a good puck retrieval for Muskegon, and they had to have it because Polosha could have been on the doorstep. And off the spin and turn, Max Campbell, who scored the last goal of the first period that made it 2-2. Sharks couldn't touch. It would have been offsides. Here's a long outstretch. Find the entry for Nolan LeClaire, who's already got a couple. Kieran Carlisle. He's got the go-ahead primary assist to at least tie it. And alongside Theo Goody's goal, Carlisle. Pinned up against the boards, Polosha now trying to get a retrieval. It's on the right side red line. Here be a rattle. Opportunity now for Joe Gibbs. Flip it toward the net. This one will hit the end glass. Kieran now again trying to hunt that puck. Picked up here for Bowman. This is deflected right back to Spencer. Tries to shoot it for three times. Now this will be a tie-up. Kieran Carlisle now helps to get back to Gibbs. And this pass will be deflected in amongst the Muskegon bodies. And another wrister goes just wide. Sharks had all sorts of positioning to deflect. They just couldn't get it on net. Lay makes the save. And off the rebound, Riley Pitcher gets it. Pitcher now off the spin and turn against Bowman. 71 against 72. 72 will flip this out of his own end. And this will allow the Sharks to settle it back down. Here for Siegel. We'll have to go ahead and turn on the burners here. Muskegon does win the race right in off the change. It was Isaiah Huffner, but the pass does not get there. Circle back around for Zach Cuthbertson as we got 20 seconds left to go here. Opportunity for the Sharks one more time. Here for Groth. Trying to look for Josh Hill off our camera shot. That one's a little bit too far as this is iced against the Sharks. Right at 10 seconds. So I'm happy to say, and again, we will get more. If we get more and I get those texts, I'll throw it across. I've gotten through most of the shout-out sheet. We will still have much more to do, and we will have much more to do once we end this second here in about 10 seconds and get to the third, maybe even OT. Andrew Taylor going to take this draw. This is toward the left side dot. Here's an opportunity here for Truxton. Down to 2 seconds. Here's a chance in behind the mesh. And Muskegon, I don't think is going to be a goal. I think the whistle blew before that goal. And Waterford just says with Groth, we're going to get the heck off the ice. That was his motion. I think the whistle had blown before that puck went in. And I saw Groth immediately motion and the refs now motion. Good work there. No goal. Buzzer went off before that happened. So Sharks able to breathe a sigh of relief. And at the end of 40, we are still tied. Again, Nolan LeClaire has got the tying goal, and then you had a mix of the Sharks as well for Kieran Carlisle and Theo Goody on the power play side. And I believe that's all we're going to get. So Nolan LeClaire, Theo Goody, and Kieran Carlisle. That was in the edge of the power play at 4:42. It's 3-3. And we will see in a little bit. We'll call this next set of 20 in a moment. So we are underneath a minute here, and we're going to get set for the start of the third period. Starting to see the Sharks come out of the tunnel here alongside Spencer Bowman. John Utter with you alongside the Go Live Sportscast. If you're just joining us, you missed a lot. It was a 2-2 tie after one. It's a 3-3 tie after two. Nolan LeClaire's got his second of the game. Theo Goody got a power play goal off a wrister from the right side post. It was an absolutely nasty shot. And on the Sharks' latest, it was Kieran Carlisle who was boarded. Hunter Keppel steps in. That is at the 6:23 marker. A serious fight with Nathan Albrecht. But at 4:42, that's when Theo Goody and Kieran Carlisle found the pay dirt on the power play. Carlisle got boarded. He still got the primary off that setup and was shot toward the right side dot. This game is very, very heavy. And there's been hits for days. This is not for the faint of heart in between these two. Sometimes that's what happens, especially in a championship game. You expect sacrifice. You expect things to be physical. You don't want things to get dangerous. That's what happened with Kieran Carlisle. He had to check his chiclets. He ended up okay. I didn't see any blood down there. Hunter Keppel's already battling some stuff, and he's got to get into a serious scrap there alongside with Nathan Albrecht. And the Sharks have tied it up again. The Sharks were down by one on three separate occasions. They've come back to tie it up on all of those. This next goal is going to be big, and we will see if the Sharks can end up getting the first one here in this third period. They'll try to make it a 4-3 game. I said this to you a couple times already, but it certainly feels like it's going to be first to five. And the way that this game has been, Elijah Gibbons and Devon Lay have had a lot of work to do. I don't think either netminder has probably been on the top of their game. Some of these chances have been tough to deal with, but that's the way it goes. I got one last shout out here for you, and alongside for Andrew Polosha. Thank you for watching and listening in. For his dad, Pascal and Livonia, in-laws Bernie and Denise from Garden City, and his brother Jason from Kansas City, Missouri. And also thank you to everyone watching on TCL Channel 3080, Roku, YouTube, and the Go Live Sportscast website. My name's John Ott. We are getting square for a third period of a winner-take-all Game 5 in the Michigan Independence Hockey League to decide who lifts the Bill Law Memorial Cup. The Waterford Sharks trying to do so for a second straight season. Muskegon Voyagers last year lost their edge after a three-peat. They were trying to go for 4 in a row until the Sharks swept them last year. Again, that's a best of 5 as well. They took every game in the postseason, went 5-0. Both teams 4-2 in this postseason. And there's no more runway. Whoever wins, wins it all. There's going to be a trophy on the ice today, and we'll get some extended at the end of it. I hope I can make it through because I'm starting to feel cold, as this is going to be a center ice draw. But let's see if the Sharks can keep everybody warm and toasty. We're underway as 10 minutes have expired from this first period, and an immediate chance right at the net for the Sharks as this one goes to the left side of Papandrea off a long shot. That's saved by Lay. There's a rebound. Spencer Bowman was trying to be the first to get to it. And a good eludence there for Muskegon. Try to find the pressure there. Riley picture off a long shot and setup and alongside for Andrew Taylor. And that is saved by Elijah Gibbons. I think when we get a little bit later in this broadcast, I'll give my shout-outs as well. And then when we conclude everything, I'll give my thanks to Go Live across because we really appreciate them being alongside for all 5 of these games. We didn't know it was going to go all the way down the distance. Heck, we didn't know it was going to be a 3-0 sweep last year. You wouldn't have expected that. It's just circled around the inboards now for growth. We'll use this off the embankment, try to find Spencer Bowman, but the Sharks have iced it. Shouldn't have tired bodies just yet as we've just started this third period, but if we do get to OT, as those tea leaves start to burn, you will start to see some winded legs and bodies and maybe some more clearing, trying to make some of the safe plays because you don't want to get caught when you have no energy as far as the back end when the game gets late and the lungs start to burn. Papandrea falls down to make a play and gives it up to Kieran as this is toward the left side of Evelyn, looking for Andrew Polosha, number 61. Again, Polosha has been the leading goal scorer for the Sharks throughout the regular season and the postseason. Shoulder is battling an issue there on the backhand. Turnaround chance toward the back post, but this will be funneled into Muskegon's defense. And it's so hard to get any of that lift when you're dealing with the shoulder. Here's a save. Gibbons! Swan dives on the puck and to help with Theo Goody behind him. I'm going to say it right now. I know the Sharks can come back as they've done 3 separate times. If you've been following along, you've seen it on the broadcast, but I just don't think that they can give up the next goal right now. This has got to be for the Sharks if they want to find a way to win this trophy today. One of these teams is going to get it. Milkowski now toward the right side boards looking for a sharp angle chance. And this will be solved by Gibbons. That was from Ryan Gamber. So I'm making my declaration. The Sharks have got to get the next one. We're at Lakeshore Sports Center in Muskegon for a deciding Game 5. Milkowski now. And off the tie-up near the right boards. Here's an outstretched pass for Jake Prober. Be able to get a stick on it and negate the icing. As the Sharks try to get some offensive possession in the end. This is too far for Gibbs. And off the back check, Gibbons prepared for a one-on-one. And this shot long will hit the end boards and go on a play from Gamber. Max Campbell does his circle about and take his change. His growth back on the ice with Josh Hill. It's usually line numero dos for Matt Berger's squad. Jeremy Joyce winning this one straight back for Muskegon. Muskegon in the road black and the home black and teal. The Waterford Sharks in the road whites in the mix of the black and orange striping. Spencer Bowman, captaincy for the Sharks, will send this one back behind his own net. And a little back pass. That one was pretty good. It got around Jeremy Joyce's stick and then right up the gut. This will be sticked aside by Elijah Gibbons, put in the corner here for Siegel. Siegel now off in the back skate, collected by Spencer Bowman toward the right side boards. Couldn't get any lofted there for Josh Hill, but Bowman tried to get his own retrieval. As this goes toward the left side red line, Sharks will just backhand this one into the zone. And a good reverse hit that knocked Bowman off his feet. And circle back around for Nolan LeClaire, who's got a couple in this game as it's contesting right side boards. Sharks with a cross pass, 1T, and legs taken out from underneath Josh Hill. This springs the Voyagers. Look out, they got numbers on the backhand. Elijah Gibbons was swimming in the goal crease for a moment. Kieran Carlisle slow to get up. Bowman slow to get up. Play is still live right now. And Gregorich can't believe that this play is still going on right now. He's got his wits about him. I can see it in his eyes, but he had two big hands in the air. Now Elijah Gibbons leaves the goal crease, and the Sharks have a power play. I thought in that time when everything was going on that Muskegon would have touched the puck at some point. I want to see who's going to be called, but the Sharks do get a second power play. There was some offsetting in the mix of the fighting and all of that, but Muskegon's got one, Waterford's got two, and they've kept all the extracurricular stuff to the vest. I mean, if you start chewing out the Zebras, you're going to go to the box. And you know they had a conversation with that alongside Spencer Bowman and company, not singling out him, but you got to keep a cool head, especially in a game like this. So Kieran Carlisle, this one will be run straight back to Muskegon. Carlisle now off the spin and turn, be sent down the length of the ice from 200 feet. Left now here for Nick Papandrea. Papagee's got one, and he's always a proponent alongside for 5 and 25. They got a lot of speed to burn. As this is contested or set ice, there's a break. A one-on-one against Elijah. The shot hits the glass. Goes in behind the net now. My goodness. That was Chris Hawkins. And if he would have found that there, Elijah was trying to close off some of that net. You don't see him step out of his net too much, but he kind of need to. And now the Sharks up the gut now off the backhand, and Lay will find it with the glove from Polosha. Hold all tickets there. Again, it is Zach Grover is the one in the box. I'm not sure if it was a trip or what that's out in front, but that's the minor infraction. Minute 17 for him unless the Sharks score. Grego will win this one back. Held across the blue line by Gibbs for a moment as this will be a long flip down the ice. Elijah make the outstretched pass. Sharks going to have to do so quickly because the Voyagers did send one in off the forecheck. That was Nolan LeClaire. We settle back down now for Josh Hill, trying to find the entry across the left wing. This one bounces away from Gregorich and picked up at center ice. McGrath will slap this one in around the inboards. Cole Hogemo slows it down between his skates. About 15:45 left to go in the third. John Ottom, your play-by-play man, alongside the Go Live Sportscast. This is a winner-take-all Game 5 for the Bill Long Memorial Cup. Sharks trying to win in back-to-back seasons. Now toward the left side bumper. And off the spin and turn, Hogemo. Still with it. In toward the point, traffic out in front of Lay. And the Voyagers able to escape, race this down the right wing. 15 seconds left to go in the man advantage for the Sharks. By the time they get this one up ice, it'll probably expire. Josh trying to work his way right up the gut. Good backhand move. He gets around a couple of his own players. And now Muskegon sends in their own end. So they'll return to full strength here. With 5 minutes expired in this tie game of the third. We have not had overtime yet in this series. Gibbs, you don't see him losing edge too much, but he's still got the puck. It's really hard to take it away from him for number 25. A little outstretch bounces off the skates. That'll allow Luke McCarthy to settle things down. Joe Gibbs now played this one between his legs and sent it up front to the left side red line. Little D-to-D passing here for Muskegon. Trying to find an entry across the left wing. Good slow up at the line off the toe drag. Sharks are there, though, to intercept. Opportunity now for Hunter Keppel. On his backhand. He's getting pressed against the wall right now, but he's still with it. Toward the left side red line. One of the Voyagers goes down. Rolling puck gets in through neutral. Sharks off to start again. Joseph Gibbs on his back skate. Play this one off the embankment here for Keppel as he gets a ride into the players' bench. Papandrea just go ahead and take a change for Matt Berger's squad. One of the Sharks was sent up on the breakout, but Muskegon able to get away from that and elude the pressure. D-to-D pass outlet. They're racing toward the right wing knuckle puck off the Sharks. Groth flip this one around the end boards. Muskegon does steal. Groth's got some work to do as he's pinned against the boards by Hawkins. Zach Molkowski out from the sight lines. This one in the high slot. Shot through the traffic. It's saved by Gibbons. Brushed to the right side corner. And Sharks have to spin around in their own end. take a hit there was Jake Prober, successfully get this down the ice, but I think the Sharks have blown it dead against themselves. They had to do it, though. There was a lot of pressure in their grill. So Prober's got to stay out there with Milkowski and Groff. You got Siegel as well. That's the other D-man in the mix of Max Campbell. So it's their backup line. As the Sharks want to say, make sure you stay with 20 on that side and Nolan LeClaire. They didn't want to give him any chances in off the draw. It was a good shot out there alongside for Matt Berger. Bounced in between the referee. One of the Sharks wanted them to get out of the way so Siegel could play the puck. Run to the left side red line. Go D-to-D here for Muskegon. He's going to look to break out right to left for the rest of this third period. Again, they are in the home blacks with the teal on the top, and the Sharks in the road whites with the orange and black. Sharks black home unis are probably one of the best ones, though I would say that even as a company man. They're pretty clean. Flips in toward the left side boards as, again, Josh Hill gets taken for a ride against the end boards. Hawkins now still in right side corner. Again, I'm mixing in between the monitor and that toward all the way on the other side. Here's a long flip. Siegel able to sniff that one out. And alongside for Gregorich off the touch pass, looking for Hill. And Papandrea try to guard that blue line as Muskegon content to skate it in. A little bit too far for Siegel. Papandrea. He's under duress. We'll have to loop him behind his own net and make the outstretched pass. Not a bad one as the Sharks able to brush that in the corner. Find a backhand pivot for Grego, but he's got nobody behind him as this puck harmlessly gets knocked away. And now Muskegon has some energy. This hits Elijah Gibbons right in the face. This does not dislodge his mask. It hit him right in the head off of that save from Luke McCarthy. And that's one of the virtues of the sight line that I have. My goodness. This is picked up toward the right side end boards. And start again. Theo Goody. He's got this game tied one more time at 3. That was in the second period. We've got nothing to tell you about in the third so far as we're almost halfway through it. The Sharks have had another power play. Muskegon has had just one, not counting those offsetting 4-on-4. Gibbs. He's just going to play that backseat. Good stick positioning as Polsha able to shovel this one ahead. Again, Polsha has been quiet in this game, but you know he's battling that shoulder and all of that. But who isn't beat up this time of year? You got to be able to somehow fight through it and take advantage when you get one. Here's a long wrister. This is just wide of lay into the corner with 11:05 left to go in the third. We're getting down to gut check time as if we already are. Here's a chance for a long shot glove save for Elijah Gibbons. We'll take our immediate timeout. I'll step aside. So I know this is as good a time as any for me. I haven't thrown my shout-outs there, but I might as well. I was doing it all across for the Sharks family. But as we get settled here to bring you back in with 11 minutes left to go in the third, I'll throw my shout-outs here in for the ring as far as my mom and stepdad, Rick and Michelle, Claire, my grandma Sue. Thankfully, there's not a Tigers game on, so she has no excuse to not listen to me at this time. And Ron and Joanne, thank you for joining in. Mike and Kathy. And there's a lot of you here in between this, all the way across as we've thrown. This has been a lot of fun this year. This is the championship game for the Sharks. All the culmination and all the effort has come down to this. I know a lot of you probably wish that you can be in here in Muskegon with me, but it's a madhouse. We've got some stories to tell you off the record side of it when I step away, but we will get the full game story at HopelessSportsGuide at WordPress.com, and I will give a video at the end of the year. And alongside the MIHL, I want to thank you for the Sharks. There'll be a lot to do after over the next few days, so stay tuned. Still, we got a game here. 10:40 left to go in the third. This is off the tie-up now for Theo Goody. Papandrea will send this one cross ice here for Spencer Bowman. Sharks just trying to get the go-ahead goal with 10:30 left to go in the third. This has been a barn burner, back and forth. That's the way the whole series has been. Now the Sharks need to score this first goal of the third. Find an entry now. And near the left side, here's a pass across. It'll get deflected here by Muskegon. Papandrea now on his back skate. Elijah Gibbons stepping up just in case. As his pass goes across, it bounces off of Prober. Opportunity now for Zach Grover. Here's a chance. You got a screen out in front for Kevin Belvich as the shot goes in around the end board. Sharks desperate to get this one out for the moment. Knock it away from Joe DeWitt and across the neutral zone. That Bergers squad will take chances and changes quickly, and so does Zach Dance. Cole Helgamo back in behind for DeWitt. Helgamo gets the interception, fakes the slapper. Sharks turnaround chance wide of the left post. As this gets settled back down now here for the Sharks, Cole. He's got the puck. He's going to do some coaching time for Oakland University, my alma mater, during the season next year. As this will be Joe Gibbs off the snow spray. Gibbs trying to get this out of his own end. He's getting double teamed right now. Sharks desperate to find the puck. Theo Goody will shovel it to Elijah Gibbons. We're more than halfway through the third. 9:15 officially. And we have yet to decide who's going to win this one definitively. Again, every single one of these games have been decided by one goal. If you're looking for something else to watch for, a lot of the definitive goals, especially in games 1 and 2 in this building between both teams, were decided around the 5-minute marker. Will we get much more of the same? Theo Goody off his outstretch does not hit Polosha. Polosha now helps force the steal as the Sharks can safely throw this in across the red. Stopped by Devon Lay toward the left side red line. Off the spin and turn, Carlisle tries to leave this one out front. And Muskegon, it's a rolling puck, and that will go up and out of play. Theo Goody stepped up at the blue line to knock it away. So I have not met Scott Brand yet, but I am told that he is in the building, the new commissioner for the MIHL. Again, expanding to 2 new teams. They have 6. 4 teams will make the playoffs per usual. 2 will not. They get to 8, it'll be 4 and 4. Huffner's pass. This is Truxton just at the line. Keep it in. Off the backhand shovel from Taylor. That was saved by Elijah Gibbons, and the slap shot hits the corner. Kept in now for Montgomery. To Isaiah Huffner now. Isaiah Huffner works his way toward the middle of the slot. It's saved Gibbons. It's loose. It's behind him. He's got it with the right pad. Things getting chaotic as he did make the save, and Elijah Gibbons had to do so. Settle back down for Polosha. He'll take his change. As Muskegon now trying to find the entry. Big hit to Gregorich down again. He's got a hit me sign all over his jersey that I'm not seeing at some point. But right at 8 minutes, we get a stoppage. And I think Mama Shark has brought some extra bandages, and she's going to need that for her son. I'm going to take that in a win. That's what he wants to see. That's what everybody wants here on this side for the Sharks. I know some probably nervous energy for Terry and the thousands of games that he's called. I haven't had as much experience myself, but I've been doing this alongside with a few of my friends. So another championship game is the same thing as Game 7 in the Stanley Cup Finals, is it not? It's a lot of fun. Now in toward the right side off the long outstretch, and Joe Gibbs, beautiful work in behind his own net. Try to get around Kevin Belvich, who was looking for a break. Find an entry now, Hill with the wrister. This is saved by the glove of Lay. Now toward the left side red line. A little too far for Gibbs. Starting here for Alex Gregorich. Clear this one in from 100 feet. That's going to work out for Spencer Bowman, and you got to get a puck retrieval to the left side red line. But Bowman gets it sticked away from him, the captaincy for the Sharks. And then sent out of play at 7-11. That's always open, the convenience store. What would be convenient is if the Sharks score another goal here in the next couple of minutes. Kind of calm the nerves. I don't know if it's just I'm nervous or if I'm cold, but I think it's more so cold. As this is picked up here by Theo Goody. Goody now, who's got one. This will bounce in off of Muskegon's bodies. Goody still trying to chase for it now into the right side. Milkowski on his back skate as Muskegon's got some work to do on their own end. And Sharks' forecheck has been pretty good. It looks like Muskegon's going to be able to break out now. Across the right wing. Here's a cross pass. Wrister deflected into the corner. Zach Milkowski now. Here's a pickup for Max Campbell on his backhand. He's trying to shovel this across the blue line, but it's not out. Papandrea not leaving his post. And this will be Cole Helgamo from 200 feet. Try to get out of his own end. And Milkowski needs some help on the backhand now. And this is Helgamo now with a tertiary effort. Finally gets this out. Papandrea was on his knees there just trying to take a breath. He wanted to make sure it was clean in front of Gibbons. Long shot saved by Gibbons in front of the corner. Getting dangerously close to that final 5-minute marker, but we might need more. This is bounced right in front of the slot. Sharks able to knock it away. Andrew Polosha, they really need his heroics. Again, it's so difficult battling through a shoulder and you're just trying to shoot the puck and be able to skate and do all that, but whatever he can muster to be the hero, that's what they need. Anybody. Isaiah Huffner now, number 44. Off the windmill drive in toward the net, saved by Gibbons. This is worked in behind the net. Siegel able to get that out. I think he lost his lumber in the process. He was getting around Luke McCarthy. And the Voyagers can slow it down on their own end with assistant captaincy and Jordan Truxton. Truxton now gets lifted at the line. It's Milkowski off the steal. Off a knee trying to make a cross-ice pass. And against the end boards now, it's Hunter Keppel. Keppel now takes a hit. This is Joe Gibbs right in at the line. This is sent toward the net wide. Sharks finally get some O-zone pressure. It's been a lot of third period pressure for Muskegon. And the Sharks got to cut that right out. Right on the backhand now, Keppel. And off the leave, they'll get it right back. Sharks had some wounded bodies, so they'll go ahead and take some change. Winded, I should say. Wounded and winded for both of these. That would be apropos. Down to the final 5 minutes of the third, and we might need more. It's a 3-3 tie, and we're getting very close to sudden death in this game. Chance from Gibbs. This one is blocked aside, and we do have a break. This could be a big moment in this game. Cross pass, Gibbons! Oh, what a save toward the right side corner. I didn't think we were going to get a motion for a penalty. We're not. Gregorich tried to hum the other way, and I was definitely thinking about what I might call in the moment, but Gibbons had none of it. Now we have Muskegon in their own end looking for an outstretch for Zach Grover. And the Sharks, Theo Goody looks none too bothered, and that is also good to see. You got to be calm and poised back there. It is just another hockey game after all, regardless of what the stakes are. But Elijah Gibbons made that look easy, and he needed to. This is where he's got to be at his best. We've seen him at his best at Lakeland last weekend. Lock and key, that's what the Sharks need. Milkowski cannot win this draw. And this will be sent back down the ice. Doesn't look like Muskegon's going to give chase. So the Sharks can do whatever the heck they want here as far as their personnel. Muskegon's got to keep the same on the ice. 4 minutes, 3 seconds. We have no goals to tell you about here in the third. Your latest stuff from the second, Nolan LeClaire, his second from Theo Goody and Kieran Carla on the power play at 4:42. It would be fitting if we need OT because we're past the point now where the goals were normally scored. Sharks have possession. Zach Dance's troops, they come back onto the ice. Theo Goody's chance. He tried to clear the red. That was not done so as it goes back to Joseph Gibbs. Gibbs, not a Theo. He'll gain the red and throw it in. Josh Hill, his odds there with Alex Gregorich to try to get a puck retrieval for Waterford. Again, this is a do-or-die Game 5. The Bill Law Memorial Cup is in the building. Waterford trying to go back-to-back champs. Muskegon trying to rightfully take back what's theirs. As this is sent the other way. Now too long there for Jeremy Joyce. There for Joseph Gibbs off the spin and turn. He's always so sure-handed. I know one of these days I might have to bite my tongue in saying that. as this one is iced. But anytime he's got pressure in his grill, he spins around, usually finds a pass, finds a seam. Sharks now will have to find a D-zone draw to win. I've been managing the cough drops as much as I've needed to as far as the voice, but I feel like a register might pop if the Sharks end up scoring one here late. Josh Hill, and off the tie-up, Spencer Bowman will get this across. We flip back down. It's not far enough for icing, so that's a break for Waterford. As the time continues to be killed, it is down to 2:58, and Muskegon has iced the puck yet again. Matt Berger has not taken a timeout, nor does he need to at this point, because you would also be giving rest to Muskegon in that matter. But it does make me wonder if you want to, at some point, go for the jugular here or just try to make the smart play, because you don't want to get caught in a break regardless. That makes sense. But put your top line out there and try to finish this one off in the third, because it's going to come down to heart and willpower and who's got the fresher legs. It's only one game today. We don't have any sort of back-to-backs. As this will be off the back skate. This knocked away. Good stick in the lane there from Siegel. Kieran Carwell, 1 and 3. Tried to rush his way up the ice. Now toward the left side red line. Sharks, they want Gibby. I think they're motioning here on the Sharks bench that there might have been a penalty or something. I saw some hands and some gloves. They were trying to get his attention. Sit back around the inboards is Brian Danielson. I see moving around as 2:10 left to go in the third. Sharks will go ahead and take their change in this 3-3 game. It'll be a 1-1, and Isaiah Humpner will get there first. And against Siegel. On the stand-up is Elijah Gibbons, as this is on the right side of red line. He'll be knocked away. There from Josh Hill at the point. Here's the wrister. Good save for Elijah Gibbons off the sticks in front. Sharks chip this one safely in off the glass and at least get this in through neutral. Try to see if they can spend more time in Muskegon's end, because we're getting down to the 1-goal wins and we're almost getting OT here. 90 seconds left. I do see Devin Lay leaving the goal crease. It is a penalty against the Sharks with less than 90 seconds to go in the third. My goodness. In the back of my mind, I felt like this was going to happen at some point. Now I see Lay back in the goal crease. He was leaving it. Are we going to get something on that score sheet? Bowman and Goody and Grego now over with the referees. I got a captaincy and 2 assistant captains in our shot right at 90 seconds. And Brian Danielson is just doing laps from where we are, the Sharks team man who's not playing today. So Jared Siegel is in the box. And they're going to have to get to OT to be able to get him out. Zach Dance is going to take a TO. So I'm going to mark this in my notes right now. It's not a goal, but with 1:28 left to go, Muskegon's got a power play as Jared Siegel's in the box. I'm not saying it was the right call or wrong call, because honestly I didn't see it even with my 4 eyes, even on the monitor side, because we're on the other end. But if the Sharks want to be able to kill this off, they're going to have to take this into OT, and you're not going to get a better chance than you are right now if you're Muskegon. Both Waterford and Muskegon have had 2 power plays. Waterford did not score on either, and I'm not counting the offsetting 4-on-4. So this is officially gut check time now for the Sharks. You got to get the job done here. First thing is kill it. Obviously, you could try to score short and a goal. I'm not even thinking about that at this point. Championship's on the line, and Muskegon's got the front door cracked. Here's a wrister. and toward the right side as Groth will successfully get this out. And Bowman could have hunted the puck if he wanted to, but he didn't elect to turn on the burners there because you got to think about defense first. With $1:10 left to go here in this third. So Muskegon, I didn't mention it throughout this broadcast yet, but they love those breakout passes. I'm talking about 150 feet off those long flips, especially on the power play. Look for them to manufacture something maybe because they just called timeout alongside with Zach Dance. Riley Picture collects at the bumper. Gets this one to the left side. Dot now. Muskegon, wrister through the traffic, and Elijah Gibbons will make a glove save with 48 seconds left to go in this third. Seagulls in the box for 1:20. That's what he hopes the whole way through, and that would take Waterford into OT. We have no goals to tell you about in the third, but it was Nolan LeClaire and Theo Goody. The last one's in the second. It made it a 3-3 game. It was 2-2 after one. Luke McCarthy now with 35 seconds left to go. And this winner-take-all game 5. This puck will matriculate off the inboards. Now Joe Gibbs. And alongside for Brian Danielson, I had to give him a high five as we got about 20 seconds left to go in this third period. This is for the championship. The Sharks able to make the play at the line. This is now knocked out and sent back in off the dump. Elijah Gibbons will slow it down. To pick off the inboards, it's Josh Hill. Backhand this one down. And it certainly looks like we're going to overtime. It is 3-3 after 3. It's our first overtime in this series. And it comes in the championship game as Joe Gibbs gives Elijah Gibbons a fist pump. Nothing to tell you about in the third. We got some bonus hockey. I do have some extra cough drops, but I'll have to make sure after all the ceremonies that I get myself all fit and proper because I won't make the car ride home without that. So when we come back, we'll call OT. We'll see how much we need. Sharks, more importantly, need to kill the first 31 seconds of power play time as Seagulls in the box. Come back. We'll call the extras. So as the Sharks get settled here to get back on the ice, we got a really good camera shot. Spencer Bowman and the kids. We got Polisha hugging some family. We got some extra fist bumps here for the Sharks. It's uncharted territory for these two teams right now because it's overtime for the first time in this series. Again, just to give you the mental reset of everything that happened across the board, you got goals from Riley Picture and Nolan LeClaire at 12:43 and 8:27 in the first. Nick Papandrea ended up scoring that one in off the rebound in the mix of Spencer Bowman and Josh Hill. And then Zach Milkowski, a beautiful design play as he wins the draw back, cut to the right for Max Campbell. He scores right at 3 minutes. In the second period, Muskegon ended up scoring first again. Nolan LeClaire gets his second. That one unassisted. He had a fight at 6:23 in the middle frame in the mix of Nathan Albrecht and Hunter Keppel. And then at 4:42, Theo Goody, power play goal. Kieran Carlisle was boarded. It ended up being a power play goal at 4:42 that gave the Sharks a 3-3 tie. The Sharks have been down by 1 3 separate times. In the third period, there was no goals to tell you about, but Jared Siegel still in the box for 31 seconds. Well, we can tell you now, it's the first time that this series has been in overtime, but all 5 of these games, regardless of who wins today, again, the championship is on the line for both the Muskegon Voyagers and the Waterford Sharks. Both teams 4-2 in the postseason. As best of 5, you need to get 3 victories, and we needed extra time to decide it. But we can say it's official. It's the first time that we get OT, and it's the 5th straight time all games have been decided by 1 goal. So the first thing for Matt Berger and his squad to do is obviously kill that 31 seconds of power play time for Muskegon as Siegel sits in the box, the D-man for the Sharks. And then at this point, ladies and gentlemen, there really isn't anything scientific for me to throw up here on the play-by-play. It's about heart and willpower at this moment. You got to have the fresh legs. You got to make the right play. When you get toward the back half of this OT, unless it ends quickly, you're going to have to go ahead and make sure you keep your shift short and not allow yourself to be beat on the back end. So now this is an opportunity here for Christian Montgomery. And toward the left side red line as Muskegon goes ahead and gets a puck retrieval for the assistant captaincy and Luke McCarthy, who's always dangerous. He was the top point getter for the Voyagers during the regular season. He's been pretty much that in the playoffs, but Isaiah Huffner is that leader now. As it works in behind the net, Siegel will be out of the box. The Sharks have returned to full strength, and now they can go ahead and try to make an outstretch with the puck. Again, we're on the side from where the Sharks are. There's a chance for Hill, gets blown by wide off the full speed. Isaiah Huffner off the recollect. Again, Muskegon at home in the home blacks in the mix of the teal top. The Sharks are in their road whites with the black pants and orange striping. As Nathan Albrecht was the last man back for Muskegon, ends up getting the steal. This is a race the other way. And a flipping puck up in the air will get knocked aside, and Elijah Gibbons will fall on it. Again, for the time call-outs, be mindful when I say 18:53. That does not mean 18:53 left to go in the period. That just tells you what's left, because we're in sudden death, and 1 goal is going to do it. And then we will get the trophy presentation regardless. I don't know about the interview side of it. That depends if the Sharks win, because that's to be determined at this point. Now toward the left side red line, as this will be intercepted by Kieran Carlisle. This is near the left side bumper. Carlisle now trying to get some stick chops away from Jeremy Joyce. As he'll circle back around the end boards. Leave now for Hunter Keppel. Try to race up the gut now. Sharks maybe try to look for a rebound on the back post as Papandrea. Going to send this off the outside of the cage, and Lay will find it. I think it bounced off his jersey, but he saw it before it crossed the goal line. That will give the Sharks an offensive zone draw. About a minute and a half have expired in this OT. I'm John Ott alongside Go Live Sportscast. I'm your play-by-play man. And we are going to get set. We're pretty much getting dropped into this scintillating OT. Next goal wins. Next goal decides, gets the championship. Sharks trying to go for back-to-back. Muskegon trying to take back what's theirs because their four-peat hopes were knocked away from the Sharks last year off the sweep. Kevin Belvich, he gets destroyed in the corner by Campbell. And now the Sharks in their own end with Nick Papandrea. Papandrea off the leave around for Theo Goody. He gets his legs taken out from underneath him. Good opportunity for the Voyagers to win the game outright as this is toward the right side post. And I'm not sure how Muskegon didn't get much better than that because Goody was knocked down. And it looked like there was 3 Voyagers by their lonesome right in the middle of the goal mouth. So Matt Berger's squad, head coach of the Sharks, again, he just got here a few games ago as he thrusted into the playoffs alongside Zach Dance, who has been here for pretty much the whole entirety of the year, for multiple years. As this is a face-off tie-up from Gregorich, and that wrister goes wide in the left side corner. Muskegon does get puck possession as McCarthy will shovel this one deep. And around the end boards now for Kieran Carlisle, it's Spencer Bowman. Couple of stick blades in the air. Christian Montgomery, the last line of defense. Here's a puck now off the long flip way down the ice. And this will be blown dead against the Sharks. Riley Picture, captaincy. Bowman and Picture will race for it. And Muskegon gets fresh troops. Waterford can't change if they choose to do so. About 2.5 minutes have expired here in this overtime should we need it. Luke McCarthy. Circle back around. This is kept in off of the shot block to a knee. And one of the Voyagers is cleaned out down there. That was Luke McCarthy. He pops back up. Little mouth guard out a la Steph Curry as he gets some words from Josh Hill. A 5th consecutive 1-goal game, this time to decide who wins it all. I mean, that's pretty spectacular stuff. I don't care what league you're in. Again, we got 2 new teams with us next year in the Flint Shadow and the Sheboygan Wendigo. And again, it'll go back to 6 teams. We want to try to get 8 next year, where 4 teams always make it and 4 do not, in the way that that'll be set up in the 8-team league. Right now, we only had 4 teams this year, so these two had to meet 8 times. Muskegon took the regular season 5 games to 3, but the playoff hockey is completely different. As I'm taking a look to see if Mama Shark is taking some pictures over there, she's going to be my camera crew for the story side when that comes out about Tuesday or Wednesday. Hopeless Sports. I got a video to make after that, alongside with the pictures and the story, to be able to thank everybody and wrap everything up across the MIHL season. But let's try to get this done in a win, shall we? This one goes D to D. Here's a shot into the traffic for Siegel. That goes wide in amongst the end boards. Kieran Carlisle off the retrieval. Hunter Keppel against the right side boards. Keppel off the tie-up here. As long as the puck moves, the ref won't blow it dead. It's loose. Pawel should try to get a glove to it, as this will be knocked down. Again, he can't bat it out of the air to put a goal. That'll get negated, as Riley Picture. And off the long flip, Isaiah Huffner, beautifully done off the skates, puts the Voyagers to their feet. That shot hit the end glass pretty hard. This one bounces back into the neutral zone. They try to feed Hunter Keppel a little bit ahead, but the Sharks were offside anyway, so they got to check back up. Here's an entry now. Nathan Albrecht, all sorts of speed. Here's his shot from about 70. That one kicked aside by Elijah Gibbons to the left side red line. Here will be an opportunity here for Waterford. Circle back in their own end, try to get their troops all set up here. Looks like the Sharks and Matt Berger's squad will take their change. The forwards will get set up. The D's still out there. Here's an outstretched pass, bounces up in the air from 50 a couple times. It bounces off of Albrecht's stick, and offside is going to be the call. Four minutes, 4 seconds have been expired in this OT, and we press on until we get a winner. Thankful alongside the Go Live Sportscast that we were able to do this one last time to cover all 5 of the games in this series. And it came down to all 5 that were needed. Albrecht, he was the call up from the Dashers of the FPHL. This one is picked off and sent back down softly into the left side corner. Sharks now don't press, but they hold in at the line, and this will hit the netting behind us. As they circle around and say a camera shot of Cole Helgamo, number 2. Is always dangerous, no matter what he's doing on the ice. So this is going to be an ozone draw here for Waterford. Grego going to get set to take it. He usually likes to turn that top hand over. This time he could not do so. Josh Hill trying to make a play, falling down at the line. And there's a race the other way for Chris Hawkins, as one of the Voyagers was taken down. Sharks do have it, though. They're going to try to go from left to right in this OT and try to finish it off. Groth, Rister, big save lay as he closes the 5-hole, rebound, and he's got it in his glove. That was the first danger that he faced in OT, but Devon Lay stood tall. The refs are commandeering, I think, where this draw is going to go. And I'm trying to see if I see any judicials being put in on the scoreboard. Not seeing anything yet. I got 5 and 5 personnel, so we're all square here. 5 minutes have been expired in the OT as Josh Hill gives a little bit of a cross check. Spencer Bowman in around the end boards now as Joe Gibbs tries to hold this one in. Josh Hill, his pass gets fanned on. It's going to give Isaiah Humpner room to get this one out of the zone. We'll send it back now for Christian Montgomery. Montgomery now off the give from Isaiah as he gets hit amongst the end boards, and the Sharks will win the hybrid ice for Joe Gibbs. So we've done all our shout-outs, and the capitulation is all that's left, ladies and gentlemen. Again, I thank you from everyone else listening, following along. Again, TCL Channel 38, Roku, YouTube, and the Go Live Sportscast website. We're going to be set here for a good one. We knew we already were going to be, but let's just finish this one off in OT. Riley Picture. This one is saved by the left pad of Gibbons and across the red line. Here's a big slapper for Albrecht, and that one hits the glass. Sharks falling down. Will not get to this one. And the refs say no icing, so we'll press on. Albrecht make a breakout pass from about 100. That was a pretty good one, but the back line of the Sharks cough it right up in the middle of the circles. Here emerges Lurk McCarthy for a moment. And Keppel, this is in across the blue line side. Hunter's got to touch and stay on side. Sharks make some moves as looking in behind him was Theo Goody. And now for Hunter at the blue line side. Sent toward the net. This one gets deflected wide. Albrecht trying to get it out of his own zone. This is deflected just wide of the left post. Picked up now for Kieran Carlisle. Tried to shoot it at an angle, but he got his legs taken out from underneath him from Jordan Truxton. Muskegon now try to find the entry across the blue line. Here's a wrister saved by Gibbons as he looked behind him. Sharks will watch this one go back in Muskegon's end. Picked up now for Jordan Truxton, for Christian Montgomery, and now intercepted by Hill, number 15. As the Sharks will get some fresh troops on the ice. 13-15 left to go in this OT, should we need all of it. This will be recollected at the line by the Sharks. Try to hand grenade it over, but it's recollected for Jeremy Joyce. Jeremy Joyce now lips him behind his own net, and the Muskegon Voyagers look to break out. Here's an opportunity off the drop. Turn all at the line. Albrecht will skate it in toward the right side blue line onside for the Voyagers. This is at the right side red line. Off the spin and turn. Good work there for Waterford. They had to do so with speed, but this is picked off at the red line by Picture. Josh Hill now gets it in between his skate blades. He scored some big goals during the regular season at Lakeshore. That's where we are now, and nothing bigger than the latest one, should we get one. Now for Muskegon. Here is Montgomery with his pass. This bounces up in the air. This will be gloved down by Nolan LeClaire. Good chance to shoot from near the left side. They don't elect to do so, did Andrew Taylor. And that extra play blew the whistle. I don't think he can mess around here. If you get this toward the left or right dot, I don't care if there's a partial screen out in front or you think that there might be traffic, you're not really going to get a better opportunity to get a shot on goal. You really can't waste it. And I think between both of these goalies, you've seen it throughout the 5 games in this series. It takes really one shot to beat them. It doesn't matter. Sometimes it doesn't even have to be a good one. Just get a test when you need it. Kieran Carlisle lost this off the tie-up. Danger for the Sharks, but Elijah Gibbons will back up his team as things were getting frantic and behind the net. And a little bit of a late shove and alongside for Kevin Belvich. He got away with some liberties. Sharks did not like that and behind the net. As I'm looking at Groth, he's got his hand up and he's having some words. Again, I understand the Sharks might be a little angry with some of those late hits, but you can't let it get in your head at this point. You got to just focus on the task at hand. That's winning this draw right now, getting the puck out. Now toward the left side, red line off the long flip. This will be knocked away. And amongst the end boards here, Riley Picture. Go ahead and find an entry. This is right up the gut. Sharks look like they might be getting a tripping call. Not in overtime right now. That's not what you want at 11:53. And we will we'll see what happens next. The Sharks were able to kill one late in the third with Siegel. I don't think the Sharks were going to be able to get away from it. And now this is their season and their heartbeat on the line. Siegel's got two, one late in the third, one in OT. It's a trip at 11:53. Sharks do win it back, and they will send this one down the ice. This has got to be killed if the Sharks want to have their back-to-back dreams alive. Christian Montgomery now. See if he can take a length of the ice. He's always dangerous alongside with Picture, especially number 72 when that line's out there. Race toward the backside post. This is not out. Rolling puck at the line. Sharks block it, but it's still very contested near the right side dot. Little windmill move, buy some space. The shot will be deflected. Riley Picture is out there. Number 72, keep your eye on him. Back to Montgomery. Take this one D to D. Gibbons being screened out in front. Sharks will block it. Now toward the left side and behind the red line. This is still with Muskegon. Waterford circling around, trying to get this out. Wrister, Gibbons hits the netting. 11 minutes in OT should we need it. Siegel's minute 6 is going to feel like an eternity. Tense moments. Game 5, do or die. Bill Law Memorial Cup is in the building. We got nowhere else to go here. Best of 5 needed a Game 5. OT 3-3. There's no other place I'd rather be. I'm just hoping the Sharks can finish it off. We're giving Alex Gregorich a penalty now. What was that on? I didn't see it. I didn't even hear it across the PA. This is right at 11 minutes, and the Sharks are having to kill a 5-on-3. I can't say for certain that I could even tell you what it was for. Siegel's was a trip. That was obvious, but Grego's, I didn't see it, and I don't think anybody can see it. I think even for Matt Berger and the Sharks, they would say the same thing. That was a signal I got across the crew, but other than maybe the fix is in, that's what we say sometimes. We had to say that during Game 2. We have some interesting things to talk about as far as the pregame. I can't mention that on the air, but I'll have some stories for you when I come back. I'm sure I can throw it in the video. Voyagers fans are going to get loud, and the Sharks have to kill a 5-on-3. The Seagulls in the box for a minute 6. Grego just got a fresh 2. I don't know where the energy and the heart and the willpower is going to come from, but it looks like the referees had signified a trip is what I saw on the latest arm motion. And that would have been against Grego, 63. So an O-zone draw. This is a must-win for the Sharks. This was off the tie-up, and Muskegon's going to get possession. Kind of make you wonder if they're going to score it right here. Rowley Picture near the right side dot. He'll give it up, get it right back in the high slot. They can do whatever the heck they want here right now. Sharks somehow have to find it. Here's a slapper. This will be brushed in the corner. Might have bounced off Gibbons as well. Kieran Carlisle now trying to go ahead and hunt for it. Here's an opportunity for Albrecht. Wrister, this one blocked by Kieran. Again, eat pucks. That's what Matt Berger's squad had said, especially in a 5-on-3. They did kill one in Game 1 and found a way to win it late and hold the lead. Riley Picture. About the overtime is almost halfway expired. He got 20 seconds left to go, and the first man disadvantage for the Sharks. Sharks now toward the right side corner. Here emerges Muskegon. Albrecht is waiting for the pass as Andrew Taylor will give it. Albrecht was banging a stick. He fakes the 1-T. Albrecht now a little inside out on his back skate. He's still with it now. Pass across. Try to find Luke McCarthy. Josh Hill racing the other way. This is at the net, and Elijah Gibbons is able to hold. 46 seconds left in the Gregorich penalty. That would expire right at 9 minutes. Just keeping a little housekeeping for everything else that's following along. We appreciate you guys following along. I already went through all the family shout-outs And now I know I said the cold, but maybe the shakes and everything else are starting from the nerves in OT. Still feeling good, but I feel much better if the Sharks can kill this and push the other way. Here's a long wrister, saved by Gibbons, up and out of play. So on the latest motion, it was Siegel and Gregorich on trips subsequent from what I saw. Siegel was in the box late in the third in this OT. Grego's still in it. This will matriculate toward the right side line. Taylor gets all tied up. Now in the high slot, this is Muskegon. Take this one across pass. Hawkins with a wrister. It was saved by the left pad of Gibbons. Got about 18 seconds left to go in the power play for Muskegon. They had a 5-on-3. Here's a long wrister. This will kiss the glass. Hawkins now off the retrieval, try to send it in deep. Here's off the spin and turn for Jeremy Joyce. Right in front of Gibbons, and he will hold. We will get some pushing and shoving now as Papandrea was being held, and they were not letting go, was Josh Schaefer. 4 seconds for Grego. This is at the 9:04 marker should we need it all of OT, so just keep that in mind. If we do not get a goal after this OT, we just keep going until we get one. There will be no 3-on-3 or any of that. That's regular season stuff. Kieran Carlisle. This one straight back to Muskegon. Albrecht, this shot deflected, and Waterford kills a 5-on-3. Now they've got to get it going the other way. Will that give them some energy? Pelosha steals. This one fired wide. Now the Sharks can finally get this in the offensive end. Pelosha tried to set it up off the stick save for Lay, as this is circled around the inboards from Riley Picture. Sharks with Pelosha try to hunt for a puck, and this will be a race the other way. Sharks have reinforcements off the 1-on-3. Got to be careful Muskegon doesn't buy too much time, as this is a slapper here for Truxton. Will hit the glass. One of the lumber is loose, I believe, for Waterford. This is at the net, and this will be sent back down. Where opportunity for Nolan LeClaire, who's got 2. He's on a hat trick watch for Muskegon. Find the entry off the backhand. A couple of sweet moves toward the left side red line now. Muskegon just had a 5-on-3 power play. They did not score on it. Here is a race for it. This will be won by Muskegon off the leave from Jordan Truxton from Montgomery. 7 and 6 play crisscross. It's Isaiah Humpner now trying to find an entry off a 1-on-3. Leave for McCarthy. He gets sticked at the left side circle. 7:40 left to go here in this OT should we need all of it. Spencer Bowman will try to hold that pass across. It just bounces right to Gibbons. And the Sharks will have a D-zone draw upcoming. So I have one more cough drop rationed off in my Sharks sweater, but I do have more in the backpack depending on how much we go. I've been using one per period. That means I'm going to have to go get the reinforcements. Josh Hill will get waved out of the circle, and then I think they'll just let him loop back around. So Hill going to get set to take it. He does not win it. As this bounces off a Hawkins stick, Sharks still have work to do in their own end. It is winner go home here for the winner decide take all game 5. I don't tongue tie myself for the Bill Law Memorial Cup. We're back at Lakeshore Sports Center. It was the host for games 1 and 2. Sharks try to draw something here. They won't do so as we press on. Be careful here for Hawkins at the back post. It's loose. Gibbons! Muskegon scores! They've won the Bill Long Memorial Cup, and off a rebound as Hawkins able to skate in toward the left post, and they've won the title. The Sharks took it last year, and now they have to suffer heartbreak in Game 5 in this OT. Unbelievable. They kill a 5-on-3. That was an innocent-looking play the other way, but it's a 4-3 final, and now Spencer Bowman was getting tied up with a little bit of the Sharks. We did not see this when the Sharks won last year. Now Muskegon, it took 5, and now they'll have to wrestle with their thoughts. They've come back 3 times in this game, did Waterford. They were down 1, 2-3. They come back to make it 3-3, but off the tie-in, 4-3 with a chance in at the post, and that looks like that is going to be it. As you see everybody celebrating on the Muskegon side. That one definitely hurts. Again, it's a one-goal decider. That was that way 5 times in this series. And for the first time on a Saturday, the Muskegon Voyagers take a victory, and this one is the Game 5 decider. There will not be back-to-back champs anymore for the Waterford Sharks, but they do know going into next year that this is probably going to be their opponent again. And there is no other things to say about other than that. And I know it's going to take some consoling after all of it too, because I've been on both sides of these for some of the games I've called. Everybody will get to the line, you shake hands, you show the sportsmanship. The Waterford Sharks are very good at doing that. Again, it's easy to have class when you're winning, but if you have even more class when you're losing, that shows you the type of character that you have. 7:05 left to go in the OT. That is your winner after the clear-in and a chance to just beat Gibbons in off the rush. And the only shameful part of that was the Sharks just killed a 5-on-3 disadvantage. I want to say thank you to the Go Live Sportscast, to Frank, Kelly, Dean. Thank you for coming out here for the 5th time, be able to cover this one across. I know we're going to get the trophy celebration and all of that. It's been a lot of fun. Again, Matt Berger out there with the handshake line. And I know we'll get some camera shots and stick with you as they get that table all set up. I can't tell you what the tenor and the mood is going to be like a little bit later today, but I can promise you once I get the story up around the Tuesday, Wednesday side and share the video out, we'll be able to share our thoughts across the season. It's not going to be a post-mortem, ladies and gentlemen. I know it's tough right now, but everything will be good as far as the Sharks. You know what kind of team they got next year. And the same thing with the Muskegon Voyagers, too. You saw 2 teams in back-to-back years. The sweep, that surprised all of us last year. Now this one goes the distance to 5. All games decided by 1 goal. Just there really wasn't anything in between these two. And that's what you love to see. You love to see close, competitive hockey. It was hard. It was physical. It was pretty good across the board. And you have to just have that heart and willpower. We're going to get some hugs here for the Sharks on this side as I see it across the tunnel. Cole Holgamo, the first one to get in off the ice, as the Sharks will make their vacate and Muskegon will get set to celebrate. Spencer Bowman out there with the kiddies right now. I know Justin McComas did not play today, but he was in the jersey with the troops. Settle this one across as well. As I do see Nick just across from me, I know we will chat a little bit when this is all done. As he was able to make the trip all the way across. I know Scott Brand, I believe, is also here today. So I have not met the commissioner myself. We have some of the Sharks, again, on the cleanup duty, but some of these guys still staying on the ice to be able to take in what they had taken in last year. And you know what, for me, I think that's apropos because it lets you kind of drive in what you know you lost, right? And then it gives you more motivation in the next year to go right those wrongs and change it back. So just to the left of it is the camera shot with the table for the Bill Law Memorial Cup. And that is going to go to Muskegon here for this year. But again, for next year, I'm going to tell you this in all honesty, as we get a shot of the trophy, that it's probably going to be these 2 teams again. I would bet my bottom dollar on it. Riley Picture with the captaincy is the first one to it. As we get the camera shot there for Riley Picture. So usually you go captaincy, assistant captains, and you loop that around. Think about the same way you would do it in the Stanley Cup. As it goes in between Jordan Truxton. Roke McCarthy, I'm sure, will get his touch onto it very quickly. And now Chris Hawkins. The jug of Tabasco sauce is emitted by Frank, and I think that's the right apropos call there for Chris Hawkins. Kevin Belvich. You see Zach Dance. I want to say this too on the camera shot for me. Across you see Jared Siegel getting a little bit consoled. A couple of those penalties I know are tough. I'm not picking on anybody because this is tough for anyone, but that was a hard-fought battle. So we're going to get set to wrap everything up here for the Muskegon Voyagers and the Waterford Sharks. Again, thank you to everyone that followed along in this MIHL season. The Muskegon Voyagers take it in 24-25. They win 4-3, a fifth straight one-goal game. The Voyagers take the trophy back. It'll be up to the Sharks next year to reclaim what's theirs. We'll see you. Have a good one.